everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals the Week. It's already week 2, but it's round 1. So we can explain that to you. If you're an alien and we come down here and we go, listen, right, it's week 2, but it's round 1. I don't think they'd understand what was going on. So we're in week 2 of the AFL. Fuck, it's come along real quick. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to the Fourever Rivals. We'll start with at the bottom because we'll start at the bottom of the ladder by the end of the year. Liam, how are you going?
I'm pretty sure you guys are at the top of my screen, but all right, yeah. No, look, we're going good, mate. Footy is finally back for my team tomorrow night. Big game. We're going to get stuck in tonight.
We are going to get stuck, and we've got some special guests coming in to dissect, talk about the big clash. It's going to be a big, and we were on screen just before we got on air, and it was already starting. So Liam's very confident. I don't know why. I don't know why he's confident, but anyway, that's what happens.
We will be previewing your game, reviewing your game as well. So
we can review my game, but don't worry about the review. This is a new game. I'm actually going to feel sorry for you blokes tomorrow night. Anyway, we'll go down to the other bottom of the dump there, and we've got Magpie Manny. I don't know why the names aren't up. Why aren't the names up?
I thought you were going to. You're going to talk about Essendon, but thanks.
We'll talk about Essendon, don't you worry.
Good evening to everyone. It's fantastic to be back again. Show number 2, round number 1. Great win by the Pies. I don't want to say too much at the moment. What I want to say is happy birthday to my friend Liam for today. Happy birthday, Liam. And I might as well pass the throne to the great man, Marco, to tell us all about that fantastic team of his, the Druggies.
It is the best team going around, mate. Don't you worry about that. And the supporters are fantastic as well. But good evening, rivals, and happy birthday, Mr. Liam. I'm not quite sure these days if you say your age anymore, but what is it, 28 or 27?
That is right, yeah, 28. Old man.
Happy birthday, mate, and good evening to the chat as well, mate. But thank God footy has started. And Brett, that 0 round is completely gone for the season. So bring on round 1 as it always should have been. So good evening all.
Yeah, it's funny that footy officially starts 2 weeks into that. And we'll talk about that. I know we talked about a bit about it last week, but we'll talk about opening round again. Hi to some of the people in the chat. We've got to say hi to some of these people, don't we? Adam Baggers, evening all, and we've got Matula, our favourite Greek of them all. Yeah. Here we go. How are we? How's my favourite Italian doing tonight? I'm doing fantastic. Lou Felino. How are you, Lou? Hey, can you just put in the chat how many wins we're going to have? He predicted 17 wins at the start of the season. So I just want to see if he still believes that. We've got, look at this bloke here. We've got Magpie Army. Look at here. How good is opening round? Shut up. It's the worst idea. Look at here. Army Chronicles. Actually, I'll catch you
Kilda
after the game a bit. And he's doing some great things. Bocek, of course, Bocek. Thanks to Bocek. Good day. Please give me a video like. Yes, everyone, you're on. Like the video. It doesn't cost you anything. And thanks to Bocek, all the graphics, everything is because of the great man. And another his second appearance last night. What a great inclusion to the TJP family. We've got we've seen this bloke. Is everyone ready to get triggered by an Essendon fan that can't tie his own shoes or make toast? Here we go. I don't know if he's talking about you or is he talking about himself. We got Oz, one of the great supporters. Thank you, Liam. Liam, we love Liam. How are we going? Great wrestling. Peter Lee, Rocco Moro, all the way from Perth, man. I'm still pissed off about that State of Origin game. But anyway, Stuart, how are you, Stu? Mate, yeah, I know. I saw that. Carroll, Cowan, out. Moya, Reedy, Sard, out. Yeah, no Dirksen, no Byrne. And McGovern is still there. I don't know what the fuck. I've been hearing that McGovern was training up in the forward line. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on in this world, man. What is going on? So, everyone, welcome. I'll get to, we got Carl's. How are you, Carl? She's one of our great sponsors. Liparota Mowing and Garden Care. Make sure you get onto them. But talking about great sponsors, thank you to Cordon. Security lines. Hey, how good are these people, man? I'm telling you, their security is so tough, mate. They have not let a finals win in for 20 years. That's how good they are, man. No rust on the hinges. They put those security doors down. Nothing gets in. The only thing that could get in is maybe some peptides if you squeeze them underneath the thing, but nothing else can get in. And I tell you, if you want the best security doors and blinds, you're going to go to this bloke.
If you want your family to be safe, Carlton security doors and blinds is the place. Fourever rivals, a bomber supporter and a really top mate. All of your security.
Eight 3394848. I'm telling you, that could be the best ad going around, man. I don't want to hear that. How good is that? Does that get you rocking?
I'll get you rocking, mate.
He knows the number. 83394848. Tell us, Marco. Tell us quickly about this great security company you have.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're going close to our 20 years now, so it's not a bad effort, to be quite honest.
Did
so,
you like start when Essendon won that last final, did you?
It was pretty much, yeah, that's when we bought our business, mate. You know, it gave me something to do every weekend and watch these guys continuously not win a final. But yeah, look, you know, we're still hanging around, and you know, we're obviously based in the northern suburbs. But if you do have referrals out there, or friends or family that in the outer suburbs, you know, we will certainly travel out there as well. So, you know, 83394848. We manufacture security doors, all internal blinds, external blinds, roller shutters, outdoor patio blinds. So yeah, give us a call on 83394848. Again. I went to see a client yesterday, so it was a referral through the Jumper Punch and Fourever Rivals. So, yeah, I gave him a 10% discount just for mentioning us guys, and he was quite wrapped with it. So, yeah, mention our names, Jumper Punch, Fourever Rivals, and happy to offer a 10% discount.
That's fantastic, man. Seriously, 10%, man, especially these days, man. That's a great effort. And you know what? I'm still, that ad gets me going. I can't forget the number now. Like, I'm telling you, that's going to be like that. That's going to be an ad that no one's going to forget, man. No one's going to forget, man. So everyone get on there. Thanks for being a great supporter of not only Fourever Rivals, but the Jumper Punch. Fantastic, man. I'm telling you, everyone's loving it. Everyone's loving the ad. Everyone's loving the ad, mate. So, all right. Let's get stuck right into this, because I think there's a few things we need to talk about. Fourever Footy, and thanks again to Bocheck, man. What great intros we have now, man. Fantastic. So I think the first thing we're going to talk about, we can't get away from this. You can't get away from Carlton. Carlton is always in the news. They're always in the news, never for the football, always for off-field. And again, they did it this week, and we'll talk about it. And we'll talk about the Doc and the Gorringe bit of an interaction they had there. So if anyone hasn't caught up with this, I doubt it. If you live in Victoria, you're caught up with this. So they're great mates, apparently. Doc leaves him a voice message. He says a few things, which, by the way, Doc has said on the radio, except without the swear words. It's no big deal, right? And yeah, he puts it out there. The first question I want to ask you guys, should he have put it out there? Should he have put it out there? If it's a private conversation, like they said, should he have put it out there? Manny?
Well, the facts are that he's frustrated. He's a vice captain, if I'm not mistaken. 158 games for the club. He was a great.
I might move on to someone else because I asked him a question and he went right off. I said, should Glory, don't worry what he said, should he have put it out there?
I don't think there's such a thing as not putting it out there. I think he was frustrated. I think it was orchestrated, and I'm glad he put it out there because what it's done is it's truly shown that a lot of people are hiding behind the little fucking finger. Can you say
again? I'm going to ask Liam this question because you're again avoiding the question. Liam, should Gorringe have played? It's like your ears are painted on, bro. Listen, Liam, should he have played the recording from a private personal call recording that he did? Should he have played it? Unless it was orchestrated and they meant to do it, should he have played it? What do you think?
No, he shouldn't have played it. I think even Dan Gorringe himself has come out and said, I think he was on another Carlton podcast, maybe Blue Abroad or something. He basically said, yeah, look, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Like, it was dumb. I made the mistake. I should be the one getting punished, not him. Yeah, so really, Gorringe just dropped the ball here and stitched up his mate pretty bad.
But what's the big deal? But what's the big deal, Rocco? I don't understand.
It's a private conversation. And
now
everyone's
like me and you have lots of private conversations, don't we, man? A lot. Today we talked for about half an hour on Messenger, yeah? Would you like all our private conversations? I'm thinking, you know what? This is going to be good content. I'll put it out there without you knowing. Would you like that?
I wouldn't, Rocco. However, I honestly believe that something's got to give me. I reckon this is two people who've got a lot of love for the Carlton Football Club, and I reckon it was orchestrated. I really believe it. I really honestly believe it. There's nothing more. I mean, coming from Doherty, okay, maybe Doherty is sort of, but that other one, that Gorringe, but he loves this kind of shit.
I don't know. Gorringe said it wasn't. Gorringe said that he shouldn't have put it out there. Who knows? Who knows what they're saying? Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'll ask Mark. It doesn't matter that if it was orchestrated. Forget about that. Like, let's forget about if they orchestrated it for likes or whatever. Let's forget about that, right? Should the private conversation be aired? I talk to a lot of ex-Carlton players, right? Because I've met over the years and now they've become friends and I message them. We ring. The two players rang me up during the week after the game, right? I can't put what they said. I can't tell you what they said because they rang me up. Imagine me now coming on air and going, you know what this player said about, I just wouldn't do it. They would never talk to me again. They would never, give me something and try to keep it private. They wouldn't do it anymore. So that's all I'm thinking about. So maybe it was orchestrated. I don't know, but I'm thinking, like, come on, bro. You got a good podcast, man. You don't need to do that shit. You didn't need to bring that out. What do you reckon, Mark?
Yeah, look, you don't have to be Einstein to work that out, guys. That's a private conversation, and at the end of the day, should just go any further than that. But does Doherty does he still play for Carlton, or he's retired now, hasn't he?
No, he's retired.
He's retired. Okay, so it was what it was an opinion of what he believed, what
thought of the game. It was an opinion what he thought of the game. It was simple. And as I said, he's also stated those same things on radio, but he didn't use the swear words. That was
that's right, which makes it a lot more kind of severe than what it really supposed to is. Yeah, is he part of the club at all? Is he involved in the club? Like, is he? No, he's just a retired player. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so private conversation, something like that. probably a little bit too harsh to be aired out, mate. So doesn't look good. Doesn't look good to the Carlton boys from what he said as well. So
no, well, it doesn't really matter. And this is the other part. This is the second part to it, right? The second part is to it. Then Carlton have decided now to ban him for 4 or 5 weeks, and he was supposed to do a function this week. He was supposed to be at the function for the Richmond Carlton game, and they've told him not to come. You know, and for a few weeks, and I guarantee 100%, I guarantee they will roll him out for the Peter Mack Cup. I guarantee that because they need him there. You know, he went through some difficult times, and he's a great representative for Peter Mack. But they'll bring him out there because they need him. You know, but now they've decided. To me, I had my say. If everyone watched my rant last night, I had my say about this, and I think you didn't need to. Graham Wright didn't need to bring this out. You should have just left it. Just leave it. Like, he said what he said. Who cares? Who cares what he said? Now, instead of slowly drifting away, he's put it bang on the agenda. He's put it on the table again. Now, guess what? It's Wednesday, the night before the game. Guess what Fourever Rivals is talking about? I know we'll move on to the games and that we will, but guess what we're talking about? Mate, we would have just forgotten about it. Why did he put it back on the agenda? I'm fucking absolutely disappointed in Carlton for doing that.
Yeah. But I guess there's a lot of probably ex-players out there that would probably be saying the same things in a private conversation as well, but you don't hear it, do you? You know,
but even if they say it publicly, right? So what? Like, so what? Like, what are you so protective about?
That's right. But who cares?
Well, he wouldn't be the first player to bag his old club, would he?
No way. No way, you know?
What's he? I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think Graham Wright is worried that it doesn't look good for the club because he's just taken over. B, you know, you've got Voss, who is better off going and selling Voss water, because that's probably his only good thing about him with his surname Voss. But I can tell you right now, this is what people are feeling. People are frustrated. You can't tell me that when you come on the show, Rocco, you don't release your frustration. That rant of yours yesterday, I'm telling you, you could win an Academy Award with that, mate. It's from the heart. You're passionate, you're frustrated, and you're entitled to it. Now, this is a player who has done so much for the club, and the club has done so much for him. He's an ambassador of the game. We know that because he is a hero to many people who have gone through difficult times with their health, and he's one person who has really, really shown that if you fight hard, you can really, do as well as what he did. So what? Let it be, mate. Let it be. For fuck's sake, it's football. People are frustrated. People have had enough. I can tell you right now, every Carlton supporter be saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have said it." But I can tell you deep down, most Carlton supporters say, "You know what? It's about fucking time because we need a wake-up call." We do. People need to realise we're frustrated. We're angry. Simple.
Liam, do you think, right? I'll ask you a question, Liam, right? Do you think he did the right thing in banning him? Because now, if Doc went to this function tomorrow, would there have been a little bit of tension in the air because of what he said? Do you think they did the right thing, or do you think they should have just left it? Do you think it was the right thing to say, you know what, let's just keep you away for one game?
Yeah, look, you'd be silly to think that there wouldn't be any sort of tension tomorrow. Of course there would be. We all heard what he said. We all heard his thoughts. Yeah, you'd definitely get a few awkward looks, but it's a little bit of a soft call on Carlton's part. A little bit of a soft call, I'd say.
I agree. I think it's I think it's weak. I think it was weak. You shouldn't have just said nothing. Just let it go. Actually, Paul came on. Our OG of the Jumper Punch was on the Jumper Punch last night, and he said a good point. What should have done is they should have gone onto the phone to him and said, "Listen, maybe you don't need to say that right at the moment. Like, we're in a bit of a situation. There's no need for you. Have a bit of a chat, work it out privately, and leave it instead of coming out and banning him." It was just, I don't know. I think it was absolutely weak. I said it last night. I like Graham Wright. I think he's done a lot of things. He's done 2 mistakes so far, and this is one of them. This is one of the mistakes he's done. They should have just left it alone, man. But being Carlton, mate, they don't like people talking about them. Like, so they'll try to shut everyone down. They've tried to do it to everyone, you know what I mean? But the problem is when you try to do that, it actually puts it out in the forefront.
Yeah. That's just one more thing I'd add if I can. It's that now that they've gone and they've banned him from it, you've made it a bigger thing than what it was. Like you've brought more attention to it now by being like, yep, we're banning him, we're not letting him in. So you've added to the fire. You've put fuel on the fire.
Exactly. You put it right there, and now people are going to talk about it. Just dismiss it, just whatever. They should have just said, yep, he's got his opinion. We know what we're doing in our forward, because Carlton have said it. Carlton have said it before. We only care about what's in the four walls. We only care about that. And then what happens? Soon as so you do care about the outside world. Well, what happened to only caring about what's inside the four walls? What happened? Now you do. So do you care about it or you don't care about it? You only care about something when it affects you. So they had a bad week. We had a bad loss, disgraceful quarter. He comes along. They don't need any more bad press. So what do? They try to ban it. Like, seriously, bro, before you go on, I've got to give a shout out to Nonno Giuseppe. Hey, wants a shout out. How are you, Nonno Giuseppe? That's from Liparotta Mowing and Gardening Services. Make sure you get onto them. They're a great sponsor, I think, of our channel. But everyone, welcome to Giuseppe.
Hello, Giuseppe.
Ciao, Giuseppe.
I love it. Yeah, so that was a bit of a thing. I'm happy just to move on now. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Who cares, man? Who cares, man? Like, just move on, man, people. Like, seriously, like, I figured Okamoto said it up here. I'm probably not going to find it, but he said, mate, we have got bigger problems than the doc. Right? So don't put that on the agenda, man. Worry about the other stuff, man. Here we go. Political. What's this one here? Can't move back to the right. They've gone so far left, they've fallen off the cliff. Exactly right, man. Political correctness is an important part of keeping control of the corporate world, and it should be clear that business and sports do not mix. He's right. Business and sports don't mix, but unfortunately, they do. They're entwined now. They're entwined, you know. You can't get away from it. Yeah. All right, let's move on. What do you think about opening round? Have we had enough? Is that it? Is that it for opening round? Have we done it? Have we tried? Is it a success? Manny, I know you've won. Is it a success?
Oh, look, Rocco, I think it's something that we don't have control over. The AFL hierarchy, the ones that can't handle the fact that NFL is dominating in the country. So NRL, they want to try and sort of, try and do whatever they can. I think people have been waiting for so long for football that as soon as that first bounce of the ball, they think to themselves, you know what, football's back. Who gives a shit whether it's round 0 or whether it's round 1? Traditionally, I think, and sometimes you've got to, look at the tradition, and tradition is Carlton Richmond. That's the opening round. So maybe they should think about maybe going back to round 0 and having Carlton Richmond as the first game. I don't know. But, originally I didn't like it. Now I don't mind it.
Well, look, we got Magpie Army Chronicles are fantastic. And I have to admit, he's not like the other one who just disappears when Collingwood starts losing. So who was that? No Regrets. Where is No Regrets? He's regretting life. Remember that's exactly right.
He was on last week. He had a different name.
Yeah, he changed around. But he says Magpie Army Chronicles, it's a great concept. Why? Well, what's so great about it? I know that you won. Let's take that out of the equation. And again, because of your power of Collingwood, you got to play in Melbourne. That was never supposed to happen. Opening round was always for the interstate. But you decided, so you won. But tell me why. What's so good about it? I'll tell you something. Me and Manny got to watch our teams. Mate, Liam and Mark, they had to wait an extra week. Why? Well, why are we waiting an extra week? We're not even going to be, I think, evened up until round 5 or 6 or something before everyone's played. Like, what is going on? Like, it's what is good about it? Oh, he's mucking around. It sucks. All right, good. So you got me revved up for that reason. All right, very good. Like by Chronicles. So I'm glad you agree with me. I reckon it sucks. I reckon opening round, 9 games over the weekend. But even if you want to start it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and wasn't there was a public holiday on Monday, wasn't there? Yes. So we could have had fucking 5 days of football. We could have had 5 days of football. Everyone would have got to see their teams play. Yeah. We move into round 2 now. Seriously, bro. I don't know. What do you reckon, Marco?
Look, I look like everything, guys. I always think outside the square. So, depending if it continues, if the 0 round continues, I'm really interested to see the averages and if it's an advantage or disadvantage to 0 round. So, I'm interested to see how these guys go this week. So the teams that played, if they win or lose, and start working out the averages on 0 round, if it's an advantage or disadvantage. So obviously there's 4 teams that are going to be playing each other, but the 6 other teams, I just want to see how they go this week, and if it's an advantage to those clubs or it's a disadvantage to the teams that haven't played in 0 round. So that's my interest in 0 round, really, to be honest. And obviously it's only been a couple of years, so maybe in 3 or 4 years you might see a bit more of an average of, the teams that do play in 0 round. It might be an advantage to them the next week that they play a team that hasn't played in 0 round. So that's my only interest in it, really, to be quite honest. Advantages. That's how I see it.
So you're saying that it'd be a team that's already played a game and may have an advantage because they've already played their first game.
Correct.
Or you may have a team that's not played a game and they actually might be fresh.
Possibly. So that's my theory. That's to see if it's an advantage or disadvantage. So obviously 0 round hasn't gone on for that long. It's the second. And to be honest, last year, half the teams didn't even play because of the tornadoes out there. So it's more about what happens this week.
Break their record. Didn't they break their record for home and away? I think they had 80.
I think you're right. Yeah.
That would have been the same. That would have been the same if it was round 1. Regardless, it would have been the same if it was round 1. So it defeats the whole purpose. It's more.
That's what the AFL will be looking at. The AFL's looking at that. They think to themselves, you know what? We just got 82,000 at the MCG. That's to us. That's a blockbuster. That's it. Yeah, that's what they count.
You can have that. You can have that anyway, Manny. You can have that 82,000 and still play all the other games.
Yeah, most certainly.
So you don't need round 0. You play St Kilda and Collingwood at the start of the season in any year, right? Especially after like St Kilda with all their moves and that, you're going to get 80,000. You're going to get 80,000 regardless, man. Like you play any of the big clubs with St Kilda at the MCG, and you'll get 80,000, right? Especially imagine playing Carlton and St Kilda in that first round with the trades of De Koning and Silvani and all that. You're trying to tell me you're not going to get 80,000? It doesn't really matter, man. This is for them. This is another way of them trying to make some extra cash. That's all it is. They don't give a shit. They're making some extra cash. It's more ratings, more viewers. They can sell the games for more to bloody Foxtel. Another thing too, I don't think on Saturday, I don't think the games were on free to air, were they? I don't think they were free to air. I'm not.
No,
not
they
sure.
weren't. No.
There you go, man. Like it's all about the money. They don't care about the punter. They don't care. They don't even care if you go to the game, to tell you the truth. It's all about ratings. But anyway, I don't like it. But you're probably right, Manny. We can't do nothing about it. The only way you could do something about it is not show up, and they know that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, man. You're always going to show up. Well, not you, Manny, but normal supporters will always show up.
It's very hard for people to boycott games, because they've been looking forward to their team. They want to go there and they want to watch their team. And, it is what it is. It's just It's just maybe that we need to learn to adjust with change, and maybe this is the way of the new world now. You know what I mean? You just don't know.
You know, they're trying to like even it up and that, and then like all they're doing is unevening the competition. Like you said, man. Like you got 10 teams who played. You got another 10 teams who aren't going to be playing. Then they come in now. For example, tomorrow night's game, and we kind of spoke about this a little bit, Liam. Like who gets. Why should there be an advantage for tomorrow night's game, right? What is the advantage that we get a game under our belt and you don't, or is the advantage you get an extra rest and we don't? But we don't know. But why should there be advantage? There should be no advantage, especially round one. Round one, there should be no advantage. Right, everyone should go in evenly. Yeah, you got better sides, you got worse sides, of course. But you should both go in. You've had the same preseason. You go in and you play at least round one. At least round one. We're now, so after Richmond, we get a bye. Why? We've been waiting 6 months. We play 2 games and we get a bye. I don't know when you're buying, right? But it's probably not long after that also. You know what I mean? Like I don't know when Collingwood is, but it's probably not long after that too. And then what happens? So you had your bye before the season starts. How does it even make sense, bro? Like far out, man.
Yeah, you're right. But the one that really bothers me is, and I actually didn't like it, and I don't know why, but and that's the gather round. Now that's something we can talk about in a few weeks' time. But that's another one that I just. I think I don't like it at all. I really don't like it, but that's just my opinion.
Well, we'll just have a look at the teams this week, Rocco, that have played last week and see how they go this week. And that'll give you a bit of an idea.
And we got one of our greats. I love Enzo Valentino. He's got such a gangster name and also Romeo name. And you could be a gangster or you can be like
the same joke last night.
Can you imagine him? He's walking around. What's your name? Enzo Valentino, man. I reckon the chicks are chasing him around. But he makes a good point here. So after tomorrow night's game, right, Carlton have played 2 games, and there are teams who haven't played 0. Like we've played 2 games tomorrow night, and Essendon have played nothing.
That's right.
Like, how does that even make sense, mate? Like,
doesn't.
Well, to an Essendon supporter, it probably does. Because Essendon supporters think themselves, you know what? We haven't lost a game yet.
Yeah. Can't lose if you don't play.
You can't lose if you don't play.
It's going to be a big game too. Hawthorn, Essendon. We'll talk about that Friday night. That's a huge game.
It will be a big game, yeah.
And the big merit, we'll talk about that. The merit, the Hawthorn kind of. I actually saw an interview with Merritt. I caught up with one today with Merritt about the whole Hawthorn deal, so we'll talk about that. Yeah, but fuck that. Oh, we got another one here that I want to talk about. First of all, we all watched footy this week.
Yes.
The rule changes. Did you notice them, Liam? Did you notice them? What did you like? What did you dislike about the rule changes?
I think, definitely noticed them. I like how they're enforcing the stand rule the way that it should be done. I actually don't mind the ruck rule changes. I think it's making an interesting contest in the middle. The only one I was a little bit unsure about was the last touch out of bounds. There was a couple where I was like, is that the last touch? Does someone get a kick? Or sometimes they ball in. That's one I'm still getting a little adjusted to. But apart from that, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, I thought at one stage, Liam, with those out of bounds last touch, I thought at one stage they were going to do a review, because it did look like who was the last player to touch it. And I'm thinking, is this going to start happening now? They're going to have to start maybe reviewing who touched the ball last, because that's what it looked like. You know what I mean? They were a bit confused to see who it was. And I thought at one stage they're going to say, let's just review it. But yeah, that's a bit of a discrepancy, I think, as well. Yeah. And also the ruck. I noticed that a couple of the players crossed the line as they're going up for the ruck, and they were penalised for that. But then a couple of times I did see a ruckman pass the line, and there was no free kick given to that. So a bit of teething, I reckon, Rocco. A bit of teething to still go with that. But It's very technical. I reckon those rule decisions, I reckon they're very technical, and it might cause some grief, especially towards the high end of the season where it could be down closer to forward 50, just over the arc, a scrum. Who was the last one to touch it? 50 metres out.
As far as I know, first of all, welcome to Gol Khan. Gol Khan is the manager of the Sporting Globe. So welcome, another one of our great supporters. We couldn't have done any of this without our sponsors, but he reckons that between the arc, the rule is the best between the arc rule is the best implementation of a rule they have done in recent times. Zero grey area works flawlessly over the weekend. So there you go. He looked at it differently. And what I understand of it, Mark, is that it's not it still has to be a kick or a handball.
Correct.
So it can't be like knocked over by accident or come off, you go to punch it. So any of those, they can't pay it. It has to be thrown in. So I agree with Gol Khan. I think it's the best rule because they were doing it anyway, Mark. Last year, they would do it. If you kicked it and it went 90 degrees one way, you knew that they were going to be a free kick, didn't you? You knew.
I think more if it's congested. If it's congested, Rocco. I think it's more if it's congested and it's,
but it won't be paid. It won't be paid. Well, so it won't be paid, Mark. If you kick it and then there's like a bit of a pack and it goes off the pack or it goes off a player, it can't be. And that's how I understand it. It can't be paid. It has to be a direct kick or handball. So it's got to be a disposal, right? So what I did notice a few times is they've kicked it, right? It's about to bounce out, right? And then the player like dives to touch it because if he touches it, then it can't be delivered. So you've got a little bit of that now, but I think that might have been going on last year too, if I kind of remember, because if you touch the ball, it can't be deliberate anymore. Yeah. So I think it's one of the better rules, but you're right. There is going to be some teaming like any rules. And guess what? Teams are going to be able to exploit this rule anyway. The other rule that was the new interchange rule. So now we've got five on the interchange. There's no emergency or no, you can play them anytime, which I think is the best thing. That fifth emergency there, that could only be, what was it, like an injury? What was it called last year? What was your the sub rule? That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. They were bringing in first year players, right? And then waiting till the last quarter to play them. Imagine being your first game, and you've got to wait till the end to play. It's just ridiculous. If you're on the bench, you should be able to play whenever you want. So I thought it was interesting what players teams bring in. So do you bring in the extra ruck? Do you bring in an extra, like an extra forward, maybe an extra midfielder? That's the way. I think Collingwood did it okay. I think they did something that was okay. Sydney waited for Pavley and then brought him in. What was interesting, the three teams that played two ruckmen all lost. So I don't know if that's just a one-off, but I find that a bit interesting. What do you reckon about Liam? What do you reckon about that?
I was actually going to say I found that a lot of teams were using it as like an extra midfielder, like a low time on ground midfielder. So I actually hate to say it, I think Collingwood used it best with Pendlebury. I think he only played about 55% game time. But when he came on, he had a big impact. And a couple other teams used it as well. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how teams use that extra rotation throughout the game. But, yeah, I like it a lot more than the sub rule.
It's definitely a better. Manny, did you notice it at all? Did you actually watch the footage? Did you notice the sub rule? Did you like it?
Look, I think for a team like Collingwood, who's got a lot of so-called geriatrics, I think it's going to work a treat. I think it clearly showed that we were successful to utilise that on the weekend against the $1 million Saints, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think it's probably something that should have been introduced a while ago. And who knows, maybe in a couple of years' time, they might say, you know what, we might need to have that, 7 on the bench, and be able to change the players around. Why can't you do that? I mean, footy's a tough game. It's a tough game. It's a tough game. It's a quick game. And, it's a game that, you need to take advantage of it and try and utilize your manpower. So, I'm all for it. I think it's great.
I think 5's enough, man. We can't have any more. If you're going to put more, you're going to change the game too much. You're going to change it way too much, man. Then you're going to start rotating players. Players are going to start impacting harder. It's going to. To me, I'm a traditionalist, man. I like the idea of, seeing how long your players can last, endurance. You know what I mean? You get on there, and then at the end, it's the last one standing, like gladiator stuff. I like that. 4 I thought was enough. All right, we go to 5, but fuck, if we go any more than that, I'm telling you, the game completely changes. Then you're just gonna have. It's gonna get back to the days of. You've got limited interchange, but remember the days when I think Malthouse did it maybe in those years where he made the grand finals and that, he had 100 and 200 interchanges. He was swapping one every 30 seconds, and then they had to change the rules because it was just getting impossible. But yeah, Mark, did you notice any difference there? Did you watch a bit of footy? First of all,
I think it's going to benefit, your impact players. I think that's going to benefit your team in that case, and obviously the older players. So players such as Pendlebury and Dangerfield and so forth, if you can rest them as much as you can, I think it's going to benefit you because they are game winners as well, and they read the game quite well. So, but we'll wait and see what happens towards the end of the year because some of the older players, I guess like Collingwood have got at the moment, a lot of geriatrics there. Towards the end of the year, they possibly might be able to handle, the game pressure because of their age. So we'll just wait and see, I think, Matty, how Scotty Pendlebury goes towards the end of the year. But at the moment, it's going to work.
If this is the case with the extra interchange, well, yeah, he can play 50% of games. He can play a lot more games now.
He can, but maybe he needs to have more game time, to maybe not, create that impact. That's my theory on it as well. So the older players,
I'm a bit confused with what you just said, Mark. I don't understand. The bloke came in. He played 50% of the game, and in most of the times that he went out there, he basically destroyed St Kilda.
It worked for you. It worked for you as round 0, but how's it going to work for you maybe round 10, 12, 18, 19?
I think it's going to work quite much better than the fact that that you're going to be able to rest these players. So what do you mean? I think this is great. I mean, I know that, you're using you're saying with geriatrics. I mean, I'm entitled to say that because Collingwood's my team. You can only sit there and say whatever you like, but at the end of the day, we've got experience. We've got experience. So it shows you that experience got us over the line. So you can have youth and you can have the $1 million players, but it's proven that if you're using,
it's not proven.
It's a game of tactics. It doesn't matter. It's a game of tactics. You know what? We could have been sitting here right now, and I could have been sitting there telling you the same thing with Collingwood losing by say minimum of 6 goals. We could have had injuries, and we could have had this, and we could have had that. Facts are right now. I'm going to say that.
Say for instance, you won by a couple of goals. How many goals did you win by? A couple of goals?
I think we won by 2 goals, and I think I predicted 2 goals.
Right, okay, so what if it was in reverse? What if St Kilda had beaten you guys? We would have worked for Scott Pendlebury then to be on the bench for that long. So that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
It worked for you 0 round. It's the start of the year. Wait and see in round 9 and 10, and we'll see if Pendlebury comes on and off every 5 minutes.
You know what? I think it's going to work for us because it's given us the opportunity to be able to rest.
It won't work for you, Manny, because you've got too many geriatrics on the field, mate. So how are you going to rest all your geriatrics, mate? You've got too many of them, mate.
But it's about.
That's why you want 7 or 8 on the bench, mate, so you can rest half your geriatrics.
You know what, Mark? At the end of the day, I think it comes down to the fact that I can talk because they may be geriatrics, but they played finals football last year, and they forget that you know what? At the end of the day, is experience. You know what I mean? When you're young, you should know yourself. When you're young, all you want to do is get the job done nice and quick. But when you become older, like you and I and Rocco, Liam's still a young fella, it's all about taking your time, mate. It's about caressing the situation. It's about the moves. you know, and it comes down to experience. So just let it be, my friend. We're happy at the moment. We'll take the win, and
yeah, of course.
Come this week against Adelaide. If we get thumped, it's going to tell us that, you know what, we need to start changing things around. But we'll take the win. So I'm happy with that at the moment. And I like this one, yeah.
I don't think you get.
Between you two, I know you're going to go for your own, but what's your defence for having a bunch of geriatrics, say you call it, or a bunch of like young kids? Which one would you prefer?
I think like anything, Rocco. You asking me this question?
I'm asking both of you this question. Which one? I know you're both going to say your team, but what's your reasoning? Why do you think your team with a bunch of old blokes is better than a young side? And why do you think your young side, who you don't know what's going to do, is any better than what Collingwood's doing at the moment?
Well, obviously the game's changing, Rocco. So, you know, these days it's more about, you know, getting the ball, carrying the ball, speed. So the game's changing, mate. So these older players, yeah, they're trying to keep them as long as they can on the field. But whether they're going to be a benefit towards the end of the year, I think it won't. That's what I believe. But I'd rather have a young, fit, firing team that can run out a game. It's all about endurance, as they say now. Yeah, okay? It's all about endurance, mate.
Yeah, but hang on, Mark. Hang on a second. I'm a little bit confused. I'm confused here because I don't know. Maybe we can get some Essendon supporters to come on board. Maybe they should get on the comments and you know and just enlighten us. But you got all these young players, and you've done fuck all, Your Honour. So at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to the fact that experienced players. Sure, we say the geriatrics, but you know what? You got these experienced players who are given enough opportunity to get on there, do what they got to do, and then get off. And this is a good learning curve for our young players that are coming into the system.
And you can be an experienced. You can be an experienced player, not be in your 30s, mate. 3 years ago, an experienced player, 26.
3 years ago we won a flag. All right. 2 years ago we didn't play finals, but last year we played finals. I can talk that these geriatrics at least they're giving me some thrills. What have you had for now? All these young players, and what have you had? Sorry, what is it? Fuck all, Your Honour. That's what he just told me. Fuck all, Your Honour. So don't worry about it. Let it be. It is what it is.
Keep the old players, mate. That's fine. That's fine. If it's working for you, mate, it's working for you. Yeah. I just don't believe in the future. That's where it's going to be.
Where's your future? Okay. I'm a bit confused here.
We're talking about the future, not history. You keep going on about history. I'm talking about the future.
The future, yeah, but the history is what you know, and most people work on what they know. They know what history is. History is telling you that you guys are going to be using that drug saga for so many years because of that and all that bullshit. The reality is, at least Rocco, I take my hat off to him. He gets frustrated, but he calls a spade, yeah, and he says it as it is. Our team's not doing the right thing. Our team's not performing. We're shit, and it is what it is. Whereas you live in Lala world. You just sit back and you think you're dreaming.
That's my opinion, Manny. I'm allowed to think what I want to think, mate. If I want to think in Lala Land, I will think in Lala Land.
Yeah, but the Carlton
supporters are realistic. They're realistic. As we had a conversation a few weeks ago, they're realistic. They know where their team's at, you know. But still, they're pretty passionate. They still crack the shits when they lose. They're not going to sit there and accept it, are they? So, you know, don't worry about your history. We've won more flags than what you guys have won. So that's history, all right? If you want to go on history.
You haven't won more flags than us. We've got the same amount.
Oh, we've got the same, have we? Oh, well, that'll change. That'll change in the next couple of years.
Next couple of years, then. You're predicting our premiership in 2 years' time. I like that. I like that prediction.
AI, mate. AI, 2028. Liam?
2020. All right. Let's move on to one more thing. This has been good. I reckon I can't wait for Collingwood Essendon rivalry round up on there. That won't be long, is it? It's Anzac Day, isn't it? The first one.
Yeah.
I can't wait because there will be an in studio Fourever Rivals in round 12 because this is episode 89, 11 more, we get to the 100 and we'll have a big celebration. Here we go. Thank you very much, Alexandro Perotta. Did I say that right? $7.99. Long-time fan, first-time commentator. Love the show, boy. Thanks for the quote, Marco. Love you, Rocco and TJP. Forza Carlton, but the boys better lift up.
Yeah, he's right. Good man, Alessandro.
Don't worry about it. Listen, we'll talk, but I just quietly just sit in the background there and just be happy with your 3 premierships you had, and don't worry about tomorrow night. So look at this. What are you going on? Perotta, Liparotta. Well, this is the Italian powerhouse here, mate. We've got the Rottas everywhere. All right, one more thing I want to talk about. There might be a father and son rule change for next year or for this draft. I think it's a bit of a disgrace that they're going to do a rule change, especially when we want to get a father and son rule, right? But I don't think it's going to affect Carlton. Because I think the rule change is you're going to need to use your first two rounders to bid for the father and son, right? And there's also been some word being talked this week about like Brisbane and their academy players. And now you look at the Gold Coast with their academy players and the players they're picking up. I mean, they got a bit of a head start and a bit of a handball, a bit of a push, these teams, so they could push those states ahead, But Gold Coast look dangerous. They got a lot of good players. Brisbane look like they could win the next 5 premierships. And this is because of the academy. Now they're going to try to make the father and son rule a little bit harder, which I don't disagree. I think father and son should go to their teams. I believe they really should. I think it's one of the great things in our sport to see the sons play for your. I think it's great, but I don't think it should be that easy. I think you have to pay for it if you really want it, because again, a team like Brisbane shouldn't be able to get a first rounder, a father and son who's a number 1 pick for nothing. I mean, you have to pay for it. I agree with that. But now they're going to make it a bit. What do you reckon? Is teams like, the Gold Coast and that, they're going to push forward. They're looking good, man, and they've had a lot of help over the years.
I think it's the academy for me that's more of the issue. I do agree with you. I do like the father son, but it is right. They should have to earn it. They do have to pay up and get a top player. I know there's been a few good ones, like you mentioned Brisbane getting the Ashcroft brothers. Like they've been superstars. Ashcroft's won both Norm Smiths. He's a gun. Dacos, another great one for you guys at Collingwood. Paid up to get them. We'd love to have a chance at them. But it's the academy ones for the wrecking it. I think it was someone the other day, maybe Rory Sloan was saying Gold Coast has got the better list than Richmond did when Hardwick was coaching them. And I was like, yeah, no shit they do. They're getting all these first round draft picks and all these academy picks, add in the couple good players they've got from trade. It's an unfair advantage. I know they haven't done anything yet, but yeah, I think the way that the academy is done and those draft picks, that's more of a problem because it's given a clear advantage to those teams.
It's only going to get harder with Tassie coming in. Drafts are going to be hard in the next few years once they come in. I mean, they're going to pick up they're going to pick up 20 of the best players, easily. They're going to pick up a team, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But anyway, what do you guys think about the academy players? And Liam's right. Father and son, I can accept it. To tell you the truth, how many father sons are there? 1 a year, 2 a year. It's not really. It doesn't break anyone. But it is the academy players that really can break sides, man. They hide them away. They train them. They get first crack at them. You know what I mean? And they build super teams. Mark.
Yeah, no, you're spot on there, Rocco. 100%, buddy. So yeah, the top teams are going to get stronger. So if it doesn't stop around about next year, I guess, it's just going to make it harder for these bottom teams to recruit young kids and be competitive. So yeah, it has to change. These teams are going to get Brisbane and so forth, like you were saying, and Gold Coast, and those top teams. They're going to reap these rewards, and it's going to be a lot tougher for these teams below them. So it has to be changed. Yeah, spot on what you're saying, Rocco. Father and son, obviously. I think we've got a young player, Darren Buick's son. I think he might be ready to rock and roll in about maybe next year. It might be so. He's going to be a good player as well. So hopefully the father and son still keeps the way it's been going.
I think they'll always be there. I just think that they're going to make it a little bit harder, which is fair enough. You know what I mean? Instead of like giving it away, they're going to say, right, you're going to have to pay for it, which is fair enough. You know what I mean? So which is fair enough. So as I said, I don't think the rule change will affect us, which I only care about us at the moment, because you're going to need 2 first rounders, and we've got the 2 first rounders regardless of what happens. I think Port are a little bit worried because they've got a father and son. I forget his name. And they've only got 1 first rounder. So there's going to be a lot of movement to get another first rounder there. Because if he goes in the top 3 or 4, man, you need a lot of points to pick up that player. So there might be some disappointment coming ahead, you know. So one of our great supporters, Oz, how are you, mate? Super sticker, $1.99. Thanks, Oz, man. He's always a great supporter, man. A great supporter. And I'm not sure, but I reckon he'll be there tomorrow night. So, all right, Marco, as usual, just like the certainty of them not winning a final, Mark will walk off again. But I have to commend Mark and Manny tonight because their internet is spot on. Last week was a disgrace. Third world countries have better internet, and I absolutely gave it to Manny today and said it's a disgrace that in this world we can have.
You hammered me. I mean, you sounded like, I tell you what, we sounded literally like a married couple today, mate. That you just kept on and on and on and on. I'm thinking to myself, for fuck's sake, you know, it's like a bloke sitting inside the house, right? And the front door, the wife is ringing the front doorbell, right, because she's forgotten her keys and wants to get in the house, right? And she's screaming. You got the dog in the back door that's screaming, that's barking. You think to yourself, fuck, who do I let in first? And of course, you know what you do. You let the dog in because the dog will shut the fuck up. You let her in, she doesn't shut up. And that's what happened with you today. You were breaking my kahunas.
But it worked because last week I had a lot of complaints about your internet. And seriously, TJP, look, how good have we moved forward this year, TJP? Yeah, the graphics, the studio, everything. I think Fourever Rivals, we can't lag behind, Manny. Can we?
You're right. And I want to thank TJP for sponsoring my haircut for today.
I like it. And Marco, I was just complimenting great internet. You went out, you purchased yourself a brand new laptop, you told me, and you are looking as pretty as ever. All right. You know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do now? We're going to go into have I got a thing for it? No, so I didn't. So, but what we're going to do is we'll go into last week's games because we'll talk about that quickly. But the first one we'll talk about is, because then I want to bring someone in, is we'll talk about your shit game. And where is it? Here it is. Here it is. The opening round, it was Collingwood versus St Kilda, the $10 million team, 66-78. Hey, it was an interesting game. I think Saints, they could have had it a couple of times. They kind of stuffed up at the end. They kind of stuffed up with one too many handballs. There was a couple of times Collingwood just controlled the game. Let's be honest. They controlled the game and they ended up winning. I don't think outside of Collingwood, probably many people would have picked Collingwood, but the $1 million Saints, I don't know, man. $1 million Saints don't look like they just look like the same Saints with different players, you know. So Manny.
Look, I think you got to be, we could sit here and say that, sure, Collingwood won by 2 goals, but I think it's fair to say that Collingwood perhaps was a little bit lucky. I think experience is what got us over the line. When you look at it, St Kilda did have a lot of inside 50s, and they wasted those opportunities. And this game is a game of skill, and it's a game of opportunity. And if you have those opportunities and you miss them, well, then you fuck up. That's as simple as that. You've lost the game. The reality is that our experience, you can say about our geriatrics, but our experienced players pretty much were able to get us over the line. And it was a game of tactics. And full credit to McRae. He decided, you know what, I've got to bring in players who are still influential. And Pendlebury is a player where he walks into that ground, and the players they look up to him. They really look up to him, and he's an amazing player. He's got the skill. Sure, he's getting slower, but he just knows where to create the opportunity in the space. And of course, you can't take away anything from the Dacos brothers. Both of them performed well, and of course, the one that Rocco hates, Lockie Schultz. Mate, he's a bull terrier. He is an absolute bull terrier. You know what I mean? But having said that, Perriman did a fantastic job. I actually was very surprised. I thought that St Kilda was going to use last year's tactics, and they were going to put a tag on young Dacos, but I think they saw the light and realised that, you know what, that ain't going to work. Let's try and see what we can do. And you know what, the $1 million team just didn't get over the line. But credit to the boys, and to also let everybody know that we didn't have 2 of our guns in there, and Darcy Moore, our captain, wasn't in there. So that's a big loss not to have him in the game. But our defence they kept their ground. They really did. It reminded me a bit like about 3 years ago when we played against Melbourne, where Melbourne was dominating us in that last quarter, but our defence just kept fighting. It kept fighting. It kept placing themselves, and we did well. So as a first gamer, I'm happy, because last year we lost from GWS. I think we played this right. It was GWS, and we lost, and then everybody was saying that Collingwood's finished. I think we were 4-0 at one stage, and everything was going downhill. But credit to the boys. Like I said last week, if we finish 9th, I'd be happy. So this is 4 points that we've gotten. We'll take it. And in this game, in this era, when you're looking at all these other teams, Collingwood looks like a 2nd and 3rd tier team. Because I can tell you right now, those Swans are looking like $1 million.
They certainly are. And you know what, Manny? It didn't really surprise me.
Let's just say hi to Manny Costco. Who's one of our favourite Mannys. He's in the chat. How are you, Manny? I'm looking forward to getting you on Monday.
Mate, how good.
What were you going to say, Marco?
Obviously, it didn't really surprise me, to be quite honest, man. Even though I tipped St Kilda, that Collingwood were going to win that game. The thing that really shits me still, I don't want to harp on it from last year, but it was St Kilda's, home game, and they had to play at the MCG. So that was probably a bit of an advantage to Collingwood as well. So kudos, they did win by a couple of goals, but I firmly believe that the game should have been played at Marvel, and things could have been a little bit different. For some reason, it's always going to be played at the MCG. So that's starting to give me the shits, to be quite honest, mate. Honestly, man. Collingwood, regardless, I know it's about money, but at the end of the day, mate, St Kilda, Marvel is their home ground. It should have been played there. You fit your 55,000 people on there, and the rest of it can fucking watch it on TV. So,
hang on, Mark. Hang on.
That's why Collingwood playing MCG.
55,000 to 82,000. Seriously, are you serious?
So that's my point, Manny. That's what it's all about, mate. It's St Kilda's game. So play at Marvel, mate.
So let me ask you a question. Why don't we just play? Why don't we play Anzac Day when it's your home game? Why don't we play at Marvel?
Why shouldn't they? Well, that's right. Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they?
Because they want to reap the benefits. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Look, now listen.
How does that advantage the Kilda?
We seem to forget that. We seem to forget that the AFL, regardless of whether you like them or you don't like them, the reality is they make money and they actually will back teams. So if teams are struggling financially, they'll get in there and they'll support them. They did that for the Bulldogs. They did that for North Melbourne over the years. They've done it for a lot of clubs. Yeah, so don't look at it that way, Marco. At the end of the day, it was a great game. It was 82,000, regardless of whether the fact Collingwood won it. Sure, I'm happy that Collingwood won, but you can't sit there and say, "Oh, we should have played at Marvel." Come on, and there are 30,000 are going to be.
I'm going to move on. But Manny makes a great point. Mark, it was the Saints who asked for it. It's not like they wanted it at the.
No, because they want the revenue out of it. I know how it works, Rocco.
They want to also play at the G. I mean, clubs want to play at the G because that's where you're going to play your finals. So anyway, listen, let's move on.
And that's where Brisbane play their finals, do they?
What's that?
And that's where Brisbane play most of the games at the MCG.
Well, that's where you're going to play. You're going to play your grand final, and most likely like a prelim. Like for a team like the Saints, forget about Brisbane. For a team like the Saints, if they make finals and that, most likely they will be playing at the G. So you'd want to play there as many times as possible. They don't get the chance of a Collingwood and a Carlton and even an Essendon or a Richmond to get to play at the G. They don't get that chance. Teams ask for it at the start of the year. But anyway, let's move on because I have got some guests at the back. Before we get to both guests, we did have a game. Well, before we do that, I'm going to bring in this bloke to talk about it. Oh, we got the big Snapper!
How are you going, guys?
How are you, mate?
Welcome, mate.
Very own Snapper. How are you doing?
Mate, I tell you what, Rocco, I'm sitting in my parents' laundry right now, trying to, get away from all the noise in there. But how am I doing, mate? I'm probably the most hated Carlton supporter out there, but probably just behind Dan Gorringe. That's how much people hate me. Margaret from Sunbury hates me. All the old timers hate me, but I couldn't give a rat's toss bag what they really think because at the end of the day, they've all seen success. I've seen success once when I was a little boy, and it's not good enough. And I want to see flags. I want to see premierships. So
that's exactly right. And while we're there, we'll quickly get in before we get into. I want to get into the big game tomorrow night, and we've got someone else coming in. But before we do, I thought I'll get you in. There was a game, 139-69. We were 4 goals. We were 22 points up the 17-minute mark of the third quarter. Snapper. I was there, mate. We were 22 points up. And then we saw one of the worst things I've seen, 12 goals in, 20 minutes. And people like Heaney and people like Warner and Goulden. I mean, man up for crying out loud. Just absolutely tore us apart. What did you make of the game?
So basically, I thought great first half, obviously, a couple of goals up.
Did you think that was seriously a great first half? Did you? Because I thought it was an ordinary first half.
No, look, depends how you look at it. Skill-wise, it was terrible from both teams, right? But we put the pressure on Sydney. So, and I've heard people go, oh, it's like a bar of soap. Yeah, but what have you been training during the off-season? It's been hot in Melbourne. It's been hot and humid. So wouldn't you have trained in those conditions and got ready for it? I mean, seriously, there's no excuses there. So I wasn't listening to all that bullshit excuse that it was on a bar of soap. You train all preseason in those conditions. You get used to it. First half, we done okay. 2 goals up. Probably should have been further in front. Didn't take our chances. They go in at halftime, and we think, okay, have they changed from last year? Well, first couple of minutes, we get the first 2 goals. We're 4 goals ahead, and you think, okay, one more goal here breaks the camel's back, and you think they go on with it. Oh, no. We stuff it up in our forward line. They run it down within 3-4 seconds and nail a goal. And from there, we had no answer. It was like someone had flicked the switch and said, right, you've done what you've had to do. Now sit back and let Sydney take over and basically do the old Carlton, and that's not play football in the second half. And I was, like I said on Dwayne Russell's program yesterday, I wanted to cry watching that because it was torture. The scoreboard was, you know when you're playing pokies and the machine's like dinging like this, it was like the scoreboard was just ticking over. And it was like torture. Like, when is it going to stop? Because it never wanted to. I'll tell you now, if the quarter went for a further 5 minutes, it would have been like, I'm not going to say the word, but yeah, like it was crazy. I've never seen a team do that before. In my time watching footy, I've seen it against bottom teams, but not against a team that has a good midfield, not against a team that has a okay, not a decent defense, we can say. That was just horrific. That was horrendous. And, people go, it's only one game. Well, I must have been born this year because 24 was the same, 25 was the same. It's not one game. It's a carryover from the last 2 seasons. But as I've said, these old timers, and I've said it, no disrespect for that. My dad is old. There's no disrespecting me saying that because I speak for the young generation coming up. They haven't seen a grand final. Collingwood supporters have. Carlton supporters, Essendon supporters, they haven't. If you're 18, 19, you haven't seen a flag. You haven't seen success. So when I get angry, I go, well, because I fucking want to win a grand final. I want to see a grand final with my dad. Like, as a 7-year-old, I saw one and I go, yeah, you know what? I was there, old Pontford stand. People wouldn't remember it at my age because they probably didn't go, but I was lucky enough to go, so I remember it. But I want to relive the moment in the 23 final against Melbourne when I saw my dad after the game and the hug. And some of these old-timers don't understand that. If you don't have children and you don't have kids, you wouldn't understand that connection between a father and the hug after that was like something. It was a bigger hug than the hug that we shared on my wedding night. So imagine a grand final win. Imagine.
Can I just ask a question, Snapper? Can I ask you a question? Now, I think, and I actually did say that Carlton was going to win, but they didn't. But I think the first 2 quarters it showed to me that the Carlton Football Club has some type of structure. I don't know whether they went back, come back after half time, and it was more about focusing on let's try and keep Curnow, scoreless, or whether we're trying. I don't know. They just completely lost sight of what their plan attack was, and they looked like a different team altogether. It's like they came out and forgot about the plan that they had in the first 2 quarters. I don't know. What's your opinion?
Before you answer that, Snapper, we've got like 100 people in the chat. Everyone welcome. Hit the like button, guys. Snapper didn't come on here, so you don't hit the fucking like button. Hit the like button. Like the man. Go, Snapper, answer that question.
No, that's a great question. And we actually, I said it the day before the game and even the day of the game. Don't worry about Curnow. And I know the whole thing, Curnow, rat, this, that. For me, I'm not like that. I go, play your footy and worry about that scoreboard and it will take care of everything. The moment you lose focus and you focus on the man, you're going to lose focus on what's important, and that's the 4 points. And Jacob Wiedering admitted it. They got a little bit emotional. It got a bit emotional out there. Will Hayward did. Ollie Florent did. Well, you know what? That's not good enough. You're professional athletes. Yes, it hurts that your star full forward for the last 4 or 5 years is on the opposition side, but you sort of want to get the 4 points on him and go, mate, you know what? You could have had this with the Blues still, but no, you chose to go to Sydney. But our game plan, it was like We went defensive. We just didn't follow our. It was like Voss had changed it and said, "Well, let's just go ultra defensive and try to save the game instead of just keep attacking." I'd rather keep attacking and lose the game, knowing that, you know what, you gave your all. But I just think the emotion got to the players. And this tomorrow night's game against Richmond, I can tell you right now, it's going to be in the back of their minds what Richmond did to us last year, because I've tipped Richmond by 15 points because I've just got this feeling that they are going to come out and they're going to beat us, and we're going to forget what it's all about. All this hype. For God's sake, we can't even get members to sign up this year. We are struggling. And you got the coach.
I wouldn't say 85,000 is struggling, but there was always going to be a drop off. There was always going to be a drop off.
But not 20,000, Rocco.
Yeah, easy 20,000. Nah, we had an extra 20,000 because of 23. You had all the bandwagon supporters. I had a mate who came up and said he bought a membership, six games for the price of 3. Right? They did that. Mate, they always do that. You're always going to get it, man. To tell you the truth, there's really only about 30,000 members. The rest are all bandwagons, you know. But before we'll get on to next week's game, because that's important. We've got someone in the backstage there ready to come on to talk about that. But just quickly, I'll give you my quick 10-second, because just watch the jumper punch and you'll hear my views. But we're just not mentally strong enough, bro. It's as simple as that. We're not mentally strong enough on the ground and off the ground, and we proved it with all that stuff, right? We proved it, right? So when the pressure's on, we falter, and I've heard this saying 20 times this week. We falter like a lettuce on a barbecue. We wilter like lettuce on a barbecue, and that's what we do. If you can put enough pressure. We are a contested team. That's all I hear. Contested team. And then as soon as you can match that, we're nothing. You know, contested team. All teams should be contested. I don't think Voss is the right coach. He didn't do one move. He didn't do nothing. Zero. I'll tell you what to do. I said this in my rant. He said when they started, we didn't have any answers. Well, I'll give you a fucking answer. How about you man up one of those players? How about we man up a player? How about we do that? How about you get someone like a Fogarty, or you get someone like a Lord who was having a great first half, and go, right, you've had a great first half, young man, but this is going to be your job now. I want you to stay on Goulden. I want you to be shoulder to shoulder with him, mate. I want to make sure that he doesn't get the ball. I don't care about your possessions for the next 10 minutes. Fogarty, you make sure your goal side of Heaney. Make sure he doesn't got a free run at the goal. How about we can just do that for 5 minutes instead of scratching your head like Laura and Arnie? That's my issue with the team, mate. Fucking hell, do some moves. But in saying that, there is a big game tomorrow, and I'm going to get someone in there to discuss it. Oh, look at this bloke. We got Angus. Welcome to Fourever Rivals, Angus.
G'day, boys.
Get in.
How are you going? How are you feeling on the big stage? I mean, you're going to wilter tomorrow. Don't wilter tonight, mate.
It's not a flashback to last year, mate. Absolutely.
So what we'll do is we'll get into it, and I want to hear your thoughts. We'll get into it because now this is Rivals round, and we have got the big rival games, and the first one tomorrow, of course, is the big rival. And you got Carlton v Richmond. It's at the G, round 1, as I said, in week 2, 7:30. So we'll all be there, I think. I'm going to be there 100%. I'm sure you guys will all be there. No one's going to miss round 1. It's going to be a massive game. We saw the ins and outs. Today. They came out. Did you see him? Snapper, yeah. They've dropped Reedy. They've dropped, who else did they drop? Moya. They've brought in Big O'Keefe. So, Reedy. And they've also brought in Carroll. I think they brought in Carroll. And did they bring someone else in? I think they brought another.
They dropped Ashton Moyer and they brought in one more player.
I think it was
I can't think of the name.
O'Keefe. I'm trying to get your team up again.
There's O'Keefe, definitely, Carroll, and I can't remember the other.
Cowan.
You brought in O'Keefe, Carroll, and Lockie Cowan.
And Cowan. So they brought in.
There you go.
They brought him in. So yeah. So we brought him in. And for you, what are your changes there, Liam? What were your changes for tomorrow?
Well, we didn't have a game last week because it's still the opening round, so we don't really have any changes.
You're right. There's no changes.
Will making his debut. That's very exciting. Really keen to see how he goes.
Yes, the one that we can't pronounce his name. How do you pronounce his name?
Right, mate. I told you last week he's our best first-year player, and your boy Jagger's gonna have some competition, mate.
All right. That's gonna be
some wheels.
But I want to hear. I want to hear Angus. What do you reckon about you? Are you really seriously think you're going to win tomorrow night? Seriously? Even the way we play.
It's a very 50-50 game. I think after watching you play the Swans, I think if we bring the contest, I think if we bring that run like the Swans did in that third quarter, I think you have a few cracks settling into your list. And I think that there's a real opportunity to expose that again.
Snapper, have you got anything to say to Angus? What do you reckon? Is he right?
Angus is right. I said it. If Richmond bring the contest and run us off our feet, they'll win. Because we can't run. So we have no speed other than Walsh and Smith. That's about it. Yeah, the rest of our midfield, in and under midfielders that can't run. So if you've got a 19-year-old Tiger trying to outrun Cripps will just hold it. He won't be able to chase him. Hewitt can't run. Cooper Lord can't run. They're not chasers. So that's a real worry. And like I said, last year, it's going to be on their head. Remember, we were 7 goals up and cruising. And it wasn't about, geez, how many more are Carlton going to kick? It was all about how much. And it was like, does the mercy rule come in for Richmond? Because it was looking bad. But then all of a sudden, they stopped our midfield. And they just slowly pegged away at the scoreboard. They ticked 1, they kicked 2, they kicked just slowly. And we had no answers for it. And Rocco, I'm very worried tomorrow night, mate. Very, very worried because I don't care what the bookies say. I don't care what the experts say. When you know your club inside out, as you and I do, we know what can happen. And it's a scary thought to think that we could be at 10:30 tomorrow evening going home with a loss to Richmond. Lou Walsh is fast. He can run. I don't know where people go, Walsh can't run. He can sprint. I don't know why people think Walsh is slow. He's fast. Fucking hell, he's not Keziah Pickett fast or Bobby Hill fast, but he's quick. So I don't know. Like, if you put Cripps and Walsh in a sprint, Cripps is going to lose by 4 or 5 lengths.
No. He's, as you said, he's not the fastest, but he's quick with the ball. He knows where the ball's going to be. Don't worry about that. He'll get 35 tomorrow. I'm not stressed about it.
We need the win, Rocco. We need the win. If we lose to Richmond, mate, as they say, the Heatley stand will burn down. The club will burn down, mate, and it will actually force the hand of the club to get rid of the coach and start listening to the members who know this club better than some of the half-wits that are inside that club. And all Richard's got to do is just run us off our feet. Run us off our feet tomorrow night. And I think it's going to be what they're saying.
If we lose, it's going to be straight up. I think it's time to restart again and just restart the whole club again. So,
I've got to jump in here.
Quick question. Let
Liam. I want Liam on here.
Hang on.
I'm just going to say, just a quick question. If Richmond does win, right, or better still, if Carlton wins, say, by a goal, is that justifiable to say, you know what, we should keep Voss? Because I think Voss is at the end of his tenure. I think it's time for him to go.
Yeah, maybe. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, it'll be all determined by wins and losses. Let's be serious. If you're 8-2, if you're 2-8, he's not going to last. What does he need to do to last? Who knows? Win a couple of finals. That's the only thing I think. I don't think he's the right person. As I said, I've said this before. The board had no faith in Moss, zero faith in Moss, or else they would have kept him. They had a 5-hour meeting. They looked for other coaches, and then they decided. So they got no faith in him. So how can I expect to have faith in him? But anyway, Liam.
No, I was just gonna say, we got to put some respect on our team a little bit. You guys are saying like, oh, if we lose, it's the end of the world. Like, we're pretty good. We're pretty all right. We're gonna do not too bad this year.
I don't want to be.
Also, you got to remember one stat that I did see. Since that elimination final when you got us when you finished 9th, that's embarrassing. I get it, but since then, 13 wins, 3 losses in favor of my team.
I know it, but you won 3 premierships in that time. We were finishing last on the ladder. You can't compare those. You've got to compare them now. Look, at the end of the day, Liam, let's be serious. You might win like you did last year, right? But seriously, if we don't win tomorrow, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you might be a better side in 2 or 3 years' time. But if you're telling me, right, in all seriousness, right, that we shouldn't win tomorrow, like, you're fucking nuts. I know you got faith. I know you got faith in your club, and you got to give us respect. Yeah, we'll respect you. But let's be serious, bro. What do you mean I've got to give? Why do I have to give your team credit? I give your team no credit. It's all about us tomorrow, right? Don't worry. We'll respect your team tomorrow, and they better respect what they can do. But are you seriously? You think that we should be underdogs tomorrow? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not saying that you're underdogs, but the fact that you think that your season's over if you lose.
Put us in the same fucking category. We should be way ahead of you, bro. This isn't about. This isn't about
way ahead of us.
This isn't. We should be way ahead of you. We should absolutely smash you.
Did you watch you guys play last week? You're not way ahead of anyone.
Yes, and Sydney are a top 4 side, right? And that was always going to happen, right? Not a 12 goal. Don't get me wrong. Not 12 goals. But come on, bro. Man, don't tell me that you've got to give us respect. You should not even be at our level. We are at our level because of us. Because of us. Because of us. Not because of you guys. You guys are building, bro. You guys are building. You've even got players out tomorrow. You've got no Voston. You've got fucking, really, you're full forward there. Come on, bro. The bloke fucking hardly fucking kicks a goal these days, man. You're probably Bolto is the one who's going to kick you your goals tomorrow. He always goes forward. And for some reason, the bloke happens to become fucking, he becomes Tony Lockett every time he plays up. He kicks fucking 4 goals, right? Bro, we should be punishing you tomorrow. And if we don't, right, I'll be absolutely fucking shocked. And if we don't win tomorrow, I believe that as he's walking out, they should fucking sack the coach. Because there is no way we should lose to your side tomorrow.
Correct. And Angus and Liam, Angus and Liam, you've got to give Rocco credit there because they have got the extra game under their belt, yeah. So
100%.
So they've got an advantage there, right? So I'll tell you what. I'm not going to get into the game, boys, but I'll tell you what, mate.
Can I just chime in?
If Richmond do come out and give you guys a bit of a.
If that comes out and beat us tomorrow, you think that the Carlton fans were upset this week?
Yeah.
Forget about it. Next week is done. I'm telling you, I don't think Voss will last.
You owe Liam an apology. You owe Liam an apology. If Carlton loses to Richmond, you need to.
What do I have an apology for? For stating a fact. Who are you, the fucking Carlton Football Club now, trying to shut me up? For stating a fact that we should be way ahead of Richmond.
You're taking advantage of the young fella.
Well, if we think you're going to be going too.
Liam can stand up for himself, man. Liam is all right. I don't need you to defend Liam. Just worry about
Get in there, Liam. Get in there.
I want to hear Angus. You've heard me go on. I'm sorry, guys.
Liam, you were saying that since the 23 final, Richmond's won X amount of games and whatnot. But do you remember prior to that final, every Thursday night, Carlton Richmond, how many Carlton won, and how we were saying, or the media was saying, maybe Richmond shouldn't have that Thursday night slot because Carlton keeps winning? So the tables turned. So we had it first, then you got on a run, and now the tables turned in our favour. Yeah, you beat us last year as a once-off, but we are ahead of you. We are way ahead of you.
How can it be a once-off if it's 13-3 since that time?
No.
No, but how far back do you go, Liam? Do you want to go back another 20 years?
He's going back past 2012 here. How far back?
But I know, but Liam, you won fucking 3 grand finals and we finished like 3 wooden spoons, and you want to compare the two sides, right, in that period. We're talking in the last 2 or 3 years. You won last year. What happened to
the exact same thing now?
What do you mean?
He's literally going back and comparing it even further.
Yeah, but
I know.
You were the one that brought it up.
You were dominant in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years prior to that. You were a dominant side. You can't compare Richmond and Carlton in that era.
Angus, I've got a quick question for you. Angus,
far away.
For you, mate. Now, look, obviously you think Richmond's going to come out and win tomorrow night, but how much do you think they will win by? And who do you think, are going to keep the goals for your team to get over? Who's going to be those point and, goal kickers, mate? Who are those players?
Yeah, it's a big question. And I think Richmond's forward line is really where we need to work on and improve. I think that it'll be a close game. I think Carlton will come out firing first quarter. They'll bring the pressure, same way they did against the Swans, and they'll look good. But I think that when Richmond adapt, same way they did last year, and they find their feet a bit and they really apply that pressure on the wings and the run, I think that's where it kind of opens up a bit and it spreads out through that middle patch of the game. So I think it's close. I'll pick Tigers by 8. I think it's going to be a really close finish. But goals-wise, I think that is a big challenge that we have. I think we really need to invest in a big forward, and I think Ben King is a target that we should really be considering here for the future. But I think that Harry Armstrong is a really solid option that people aren't really touching on. I think that he, in the preseason, was really strong. I know he's been killing it in our intra-club. He's been dominating. He's just been taking really solid marks. But I think that Lynch, he tends to step up, but I'm not fully sold on him and how he can perform, especially with Carlton's strong defenders in obviously, you got solid depth.
Wiedering will play on him, Angus. So
exactly.
I think that's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, 100%. I think that Lynch kind of gets taken out of the equation there, but I think if he can drag that double team and drag off a defender, I think it's Armstrong and Fall that can really step up. And then I think even if they get it to ground, I think it's players like Seth Campbell, Morris. Morris brings that X factor. I think it's people like Mansell that can really, clear off the ball. And even people like Lawler, you can rotate forward if they get tired, rotate them down, strong overhead marks. And I think there's goals opportunity there.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on, man. Like last week we did the segment and I said Harry Armstrong is going to be our breakout player. I think that he's really good. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm happy to admit Lynch is not going to be the biggest, but he still attracts attention.
Yeah,
like
100%.
like Rocco said, Wiedering's still going to go to him. That's their best defender taken off on Lynch. But we've got Armstrong in the team. We've got Fall in the team. Seth's a really good young forward. Mansell's really good at ground level as well. Morris is in the team. It gives our other options a chance to go and attack. I think that's really exciting for us to see. So I think you're spot on with your analysis. One thing I wanted to ask about, with those couple players, Seth Campbell, Morris, Rioli, we were talking at the start about the midfield. Do you think that we're going to insert those guys in the midfield to get us that little bit of pace? That's something I'd really love to see. What do you think about that?
I think it's definitely a consideration. I think a lot of people have been big on it. Personally, I think we need the X factor down forward. I think as soon as you play against a strong defensive side and they take away those tools, I think the smalls just can't really get into the game massively. And I think that people like Ralph Smith, I think we've gone for a really fast team. If you look at the lineup we've put out for this week, I think we have a lot of run and gun from Short, Grill, Banks, Ralph Smith, Trezise. All those boys can really push the ball down the field really quick and hopefully cause that overlap that the Swans struggled with, caused the Blues to struggle with last week. And I think that they can do that again. But I think Seth Campbell is a consideration into the middle, but I think it's hard for spots. Like you looked at Sonsi, like obviously I think he missed this week. There's a lot of those midfield. Kane McAuliffe I'm big on. I think that those players are struggling to find their spot, which is good. You want that from a young side like Richmond, but the opportunity for spots is struggling. And I think that, the taller Carlton defense is really going to put pressure on Richmond. And I think it's players reliant, like those Jack Rosses who really stepped up last year, that will need to do the same this year.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. We still need our leaders to do a big job. Like, I really want someone like Sam Lawler to come out and just absolutely tear him apart in midfield. But he's played, 10, 15 games. He's going to be big and he's going to do a couple special things tomorrow for sure. But we still need those leaders to stand up around the ground. That's why I think Rocco called it as well. Actually, Veloston being out, that's a huge loss. I had him as best and fairest. He's our most valuable player, so that's one that's going to hurt. But look, like you said, there's opportunity out there for us to do something. I think this week is a really good opportunity for us to get a win.
Absolutely.
The worst thing that could have happened to you guys was us being beaten like that last week, because our captain has been mauled this week. And I was one of them. I called him weak. So he's going to really want to stand up. Other players who just didn't stand up when we needed them, mate, they have to respond this week. They've got to respond. I mean, the performance last week was disgraceful. So they have to respond. So you think like people like our captain, he has to respond. He's a great player and he will respond.
You've been optimistic there, Rocco, and good on for you.
Anyway, I don't give a fuck what Manny says. Lizzie's a dickhead. But anyway, listen, I was having a chat here and Manny doesn't realise I control the thing. So if he shakes his head once again while I'm talking, he will never be on this show again, right? And I'll get Angus on every fucking week, right? Because he's already spoken better than Manny has in 90 episodes. What do you say, Liam? So what I was saying,
he's going to take my spot, Angus. I reckon.
I'm telling you, I'm loving this, man. When you said I've got someone, and I think you've done a mistake here, Liam, in exposing us to Angus.
I'm cool.
But what I want to say is, I expect our leaders in like Cripper and Walsh. I mean, Walsh played well. Wiedering, stood up. But I expect these sort of players who let us down to really stand up. I mean, our captain, he's got pride. So he's been beaten up this week. So I think that, it could be one of the reasons why we come out strong this week. So
just quickly, Rocco, before
you're ready to come back on, Manny, you want to be smart because I can easily take you off again, bro. Anytime you want.
Rocco,
all I want to hear, are you going to be respectful or am I going to take? That's all I want to hear from you.
Sore loser.
All right, good. No, it's not a sore loser. I was having my talk. For once I was trying to be serious and you try to be funny, right? So again, are you going to be respectful or am I going to treat you like the little thing you are and get you off? What are you going to do?
Well, Snapper was about to say something.
All right, whatever, we don't care. Snapper.
Just before I go, this game is a tale of two stories. One, you wouldn't want to be you don't want to be Richmond coming up against a Carlton this week, but at the same time, you don't want to be Carlton either. So it's one of those games. Carlton can either come out and be ruthless and win by 100+ points, and people go, "Okay, that's better," or they come out, play a half of football, and then just repeat the same old and Richmond win, and people go, well, that's another season for Carlton, and that's it. So we will know in 24 hours' time. It'll be roughly around halftime, and we'll know where the game is at and where it's heading. Because I can tell you right now, as I said, I've tipped Richmond because I've got this feeling in me, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do come out and put on a show and kick a big bag. But that's what I'm hoping will happen. But what my heart is telling me is the complete opposite. But
before you go, Zappa, I'm going to give you another thing. We win by less than a goal. What does that mean?
It means nothing. It means nothing. So you're expected to win against a young Richmond team comfortably, 10 plus goals. You're expected.
That's what I was trying to explain to Liam. It's not that we don't go in respecting Richmond. It's like we should be winning this game. Right? We should be. Does it mean we are going to win it? No, it doesn't mean that.
But the thing, Rocco, the game isn't played on paper. And on paper, Carlton win comfortably, but it's not on paper. So once you run out on the field, anything can happen. That paper gets thrown out, and it doesn't matter how many Brownlow's Cripps has won or how many goals Harry Mackay's kicked or how many defenders Wiedering's held goalless. That goes all out the window, and it's the game there, and it's what you do in the 3 hours of football that will determine your season. You win and win good. You gain some respect back from the fans, a little bit, not much. But at the same time, if you lose, Friday morning is going to be entertainment. You're not going to get your members turning up, and there's going to be disaster at the football club. So, like I said, in 24 hours, it's going to be halftime at the G, and it's going to be a telltale sign, and a big story is going to be written of what's happening. But that's what I've got to say about it before I run.
I agree. And there's more pressure on Carlton than Richmond. If Richmond lose by 5 goals tomorrow, you're not going to blink an eyelid. You're going to go, yeah, no worries. That's where we are. You know what I mean? We'll come back next week, and that's it. Carlton lose by 5 goals tomorrow, mate. There's going to be some fire tomorrow. So I'm going to give you one more thing. I might want to hear from Angus. Are you going to go, Snapper? Or
I'm going to go, gents. I'm going to run.
All right. Thanks, Snapper.
Thanks, boys. Good luck tomorrow night, boys. Take care.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, see you, mate. Before I let you go, Angus, right? I'm interested in the midfield, right? I'm interested in the midfield. Right? And people say, that's where games are won and lost. I think there's no more so than this week with us, because we've got this midfield. You've got a bit more pace, a bit more young. We've got, we've still got Walsh, Cripps, and Jagger. Look, Jagger's already a star after 2 weeks, and he proved that in his first game. He gets 27. He had like 30 something in the practice match. He seems to know where the ball is. You've got your youngsters. You got Lawler there, and I think you've got another one coming in, like you said. So that's where it's going to be won. What are we thinking about this midfield? And then we've got the ruckman. I think they almost cancel themselves out with Pitt there and your ruckman.
Fully agree. I think it's an interesting question, because I think last year it was obviously TDK, and I think last year I remember the three of your best players were TDK, Salvani, and Kerno. Obviously, with all three of them out of the equation, it's an interesting, you're very different in team format to this year. But I think that the ruck battle really shapes the midfield, and I think that Nankervis and Pitternet are both really kind of going to struggle with the new ruck rule. I think that their bodies aren't really built for the modern ruck rules, and I think that's going to change a lot of how the contests are won through the middle. So I wouldn't be too stressed. I think Pitternet played pretty well last week for you. He was your leading goal scorer, I believe. Yeah. But I think that that's kind of how it shapes up. I think seeing Jack Ross named on ball is an interesting one. I think he plays the tagging role on Cripps or Walsh, one of those two. It's similar to Camden McIntosh did last year, kind of that run and gun, stick with your man, try and shut them down. And I think that worked last year. I think that was efficient. But I think that it's really down to Lawler. I think that Lawler has a lot of impact. And obviously, without putting all this pressure on a second-year player, I think that his body is really well shaped and he's ready for the big conference that he comes in the middle. I think him, Taranto, they're going to rack it up. Taranto is one of those players you can just trust each week, find the pill, get 25, 30, week in, week out. But I think the speed is where we really needed to adapt. And I think that that's what we did in the draft, bringing in Grill. But I think that, Lawler on Cripps, I think that would be a battle that we all hope to see. Wouldn't be surprised if we see it for a bit of the game. I think Lawler would definitely rotate forward at some point. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Blues seem to win the clearance battle. But I think our defense holds stead. I think we have a solid back line, even without Flossen, as much of a big loss as he is. I think that they can hold their own. And I think that it's really about that clearance with the Sam Banks, the Lawler, off that half back line, straight back along the wing that Richmond will really look to utilise.
I like it. And you know what? I was talking about your forwards. Really, we've got a fucking big banana at the front there, Harry Mackay, who's been like a big banana all pre-season and last week. So I expect he's another one that I was talking about. Cripper. He's another one that's hopefully stands up this week because he was so poor. There was one moment we saw at the G. Me and Mars just turned at each other. He was chasing. I think it was Goulden. He was chasing him, and he gave up and just pointed and passed him over to the next player. Like, stop chasing him. Like, I don't get what's happening, man. Like, so he's been. I asked the question yesterday, what kind of forward is he? Is he a leading forward? Is he a contested forward? I don't even know anymore. So I expect big things from him. And if he puts in another performance like that, I would drop him the week after, just quietly. That's how bad I think it's going. So you blokes could probably, kind of take advantage of that because our forward line is now, you got Haywood, who did okay. I think Ainsworth is going to be dangerous. He's always dangerous. He's a good player. So he's someone you're going to have to watch. And, so that's it. So, Angus, how much and who's going to be BOG?
It's interesting you asked that. I think Tigers by 8. I think we just have enough, especially towards that latter end of the game. I think we really step up, bring the pressure, and just cause you guys to fumble. I think we win close, 8 points, obviously, and I think the best on ground will be Tim Tarrant. I think he's going to rack up the pill. I've got him for 33 touches, but I think a real rising star. I think Grill really shows that his debut was earned. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets 20 plus off that half back role. Can find the footy, really good, effective runner. I think he's really one of those players that if we use him well, he can really expose Carlton's gaps in that half back line.
I like it. Well, I've got only one thing to say. That Angus has been a star, and we're definitely going to get you on more often to review the Richmond games. I like it. And Liam, you've done a mistake, mate. Like, you've just exposed Angus, and I don't know, man. Right. You're gonna have to lift your game, mate. You're gonna have to lift your game.
Mate, I'm super stoked to have Angus here, mate. He's a wicked guy. Like, the chat's going off, mate. Go follow Tigermond, mate. He puts up some wicked content on Instagram. Even if you're a Carlton fan and want to, swap across.
I want everyone
tomorrow and start supporting Angus's page, mate. But just one quick one for Angus before you go, because I know we did speak about this a little. Just a quick little wrap up. What are the couple things you think we need to do? What are the couple key areas we need to focus on to win tomorrow?
Yeah, it's interesting. I put up a post earlier this afternoon about how I think Carlton will fall, and I think that it's all through their run and pressure, and I think it's been mentioned all night. I've probably gone on about it too much, but I really think if we can bring that pressure, if we can bring that hard ball gets, as soon as the ball goes to ground, 3 Tigers surround it, put that pressure on. That's what the Swans did really well last week. I think if we can implement that exact same thing, I think the game's ours.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Very good. Very good.
Just give give us your handle, your pages. Tell us what you're all about.
Yeah, absolutely, boys. Started Tigermond in the off season last year, late September, post grand final, and just been putting out content fully Tiger related. Tigermond on Instagram. It's massive. We've got 1,300 followers now, and everyone's showing great support. So thank you for everyone tuning in the chat. It's been good to see all the messages and all the support. And thank you guys for having me on. It's been a good opportunity.
100%. I hope that
been a pleasure, Angus.
You jumped on with a bunch of vlogs, so
we're going pretty easy on you this evening, Angus. We're going pretty easy on you this evening, mate. It's not easy said than done sometimes here, mate, on this show, but you've done well.
Easy.
No,
Thank
we
you.
We love Tigermond. Well done, mate. Hey, listen, you have a good one. Hopefully you get punished tomorrow and you cry like a little girl, but we're definitely going to get you back on, man. Well done, Angus. And
anytime, boys. Easy.
We'll
Enjoy tomorrow night.
Don't you worry.
That's the beauty about the rivals, isn't it, guys? Isn't it the beauty about the rivals, these teams, mate? You just don't know what's going to happen, regardless of where they are now, mate. And that's the beauty about this, isn't it?
I think tomorrow night's going to be a huge game, man, regardless of what happens. What I said to Liam before, I stand by it. We should not be losing tomorrow. But that doesn't mean we are going to win. I'm saying we should not be losing tomorrow. There is no chance we should lose tomorrow. But if we do, I'm telling you, it's time to get rid of this club. So,
looking forward for tonight.
Thanks to Angus. Angus was a star, man. Good pickup, man, and we'll definitely. I think we've got a new star of the show. What do you reckon?
Absolutely, mate. I've told you.
All right, so we have got some more rival rounds going on. We got some more. We got another big game. This is a massive game, and we've got Marco here to talk about it. Essendon and the Hawkers. This is a massive game. It's been a massive game for many, many, many years. Tomorrow is going to be huge. Oh, not tomorrow, sorry. The next day on the Friday night, get the big Friday night game. Essendon and the Hawks at the G 740, exactly where you want to play, don't you? Don't you, Marco? At the G.
Could have been played at Marvel, mate. That's our home ground. But anyway, you're going to get more people there and more money. That's okay. It is what it is.
Why are you going to fucking win this game, man? And yeah, who's going to? Is there any debuts? Anything? Tell us what you think.
Yeah, well, obviously they still call this game the line in the sand. Massive rivalry, especially from the 80s onwards. So it is going to be an interesting game Friday night. But I'm really interested to see how Mr. Zachy Merritt goes, to be quite honest, boys, with you. I just want to see how he performs. It's going to give me a bit more of an indication of where he's at with this club. And it'll also be pretty interesting to see where maybe the coach puts him. So whether he lets him run through the midfield or maybe sits him towards forward pocket or leaves him on the bench to be one of those X-factor players to come on as an experienced player. But it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. I think the rucks is going to be crucial. We have got a recognised ruckman at the moment. I think Blankinston is the only one that we've got that we got mid-season last year. So if we can kind of manipulate their ruckman and if you can kind of control the ball around the ground, I think we're going to be a lot more competitive. So that'll be interesting to see on Friday night. But there are a few more debutants. I'm sick and tired of saying this. Last year, I just kept on saying it every week. But there are another three young players that are coming through. So Dylan Sharp, obviously high draft pick, so some really good form in the preseason games. A small midfielder, El Haka. Be interesting to see how he goes for his first game as well. So very similar type player to Keiko. Unfortunately, he won't be playing this week. And another young player is a Greek fella, Manos. We call him Big Max, but I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his surname, to be quite honest. So I won't tempt that at this stage. But good luck to those three boys. I think Scott was saying that we're not just going to be putting young players in because they're young and to gain experience this year. I think it's more about where they fit in the team and who they also play against. So these three guys obviously having reasons to play this Friday night, and hopefully they go well. But all in all, I think we've got enough firepower in our forward line now to compete against other clubs, and I think we'll kick enough goals on Friday night.
Max Gondoyanis. Yeah, the word Yanis means John, and the word Gondo means short. So it's pretty much like Robin Hood, Little John. So his name is Max Little John.
Max Little John. I'm gonna write that down. Max.
Just don't go so close to the camera because it's already bad enough where you are. Let alone we get a closer view.
So good luck to Max Little John.
Listen, I'm going to be close because I'm promoting the TJP haircut. This haircut was sponsored by TJP, and I thought I'd do the right thing.
I wish I had that much hair.
Well, yeah, and as I was saying, boys, I think we have got a bit of firepower this year, providing we don't get any more injuries in 2 meter Peter, Caddy, the X Factor, Langford, and I think these guys here will hopefully kick enough goals on Friday night to get the Bombers over by 17 points. So that's what I've got our boys at for this rivalry game. But also, just quickly, I think the Hawks have got some off-field issues as well. So that's not good coming to this game as well. So apparently they had some issues with some of their players the last couple of weeks or so, I guess. So not good going into this blockbuster of a game. So the Bombers, for me, boys, 17 points.
Oh, okay. Now, we've got a question by Enzo, if you can answer it. If this is the line in the Sam game, what lines are Essendon doing?
It's kind of cliche, isn't it, Enzo? Yeah.
I think that is
gold. That is gold, Enzo. Gold.
I think you got one of the names wrong, and everyone's been jabbing you about it. It's a Dyson Sharp, not Dylan Sharp. Is that correct?
My apologies, Dyson Sharp. Yeah, we've got to get used to his name then.
Fair enough. I can't be talking. I've been getting names wrong all my life. I mean, I keep calling our players wrong, so we know what you mean. Good one. All right, there's one more rival game this week. Collingwood and Adelaide over here. It is at the MCG. That's where you want to play it, is it? Manny, you don't want to go to Marvel, do you?
Oh, look, we don't want to go to Marvel. Of course we don't want to go to Marvel. Listen, we're not going to fall into the mark trap here. Collingwood plays good at the MCG. It's a game that if we play at Marvel, we're gonna have it's going to be like those trains in Delhi where you got people hanging off through roofs to get from point A to point B. Listen, MCG is our home ground. It's where we want to play. It's where we like to play. This is going to be a really good test for us. I think it's fair to say that last year we knocked Adelaide out. Adelaide, are going to come back this year, bigger and better. And I can tell you right now, this is a grudge game for them. It's going to be all about tactics. Will we be successful enough to beat them? Will we have to keep the same game plan as what we did with St Kilda? Like I said, St Kilda, lost their opportunities, but I think it's going to be a tough game. And I think Collingwood might just get over the line with this one. But, I'm not holding my breath at the moment with and this will be a real test for us. This is going to be a test for, as Marco said, will the geriatrics be able to keep up? Because Adelaide is a quick side. They are a very quick side. So, and we'll hopefully, I don't know who our ins and outs are for the game. They haven't been announced yet. But I'm hoping that we, if we lose, I want to see a good game. I honestly want to see a good game. But if we win,
how do you reckon the Gooey will go?
Look, the Gooey. Look, the Gooey had a really good game. Three fantastic goals. He's really he's an exciting player. He's, I'm happy he's at the level that he's at the moment. He's showing fitness. So look, it'll be interesting game.
I love Manny in the chat. He's mate. Last year he was a bit upset, but mate, he's all over him now. He's all over him. He's all. What's he saying here too? Darcy less, better, fucking lift. He'll be back, won't he? Darcy less.
Well, like I said, I don't know the lineup, but I think we did okay without Darcy more. And sometimes Darcy can be a bit of a hindrance for us. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see. We'll see.
Have Liam or Mark, have you got anything to say to Manny? You got anything to say about?
No, I think Manny made the good point about it being a little bit of a grudge match. I think Adelaide are going to want to come in hard because I think a lot of people have been bagging Adelaide on the off season despite the fact they finished last season top, but they're going off their 2 poor games in the finals, which is bad, and they bottled it for sure. But Adelaide's still a very good team, and I think Manny's right. You better watch out. They're going to come out hard in this one.
It's gonna be a good game.
If you lived in Adelaide, I wouldn't be sure if you'd be so confident.
I think,
But
to tell you the
Collingwood
truth, I
don't
think,
travel, do they?
no, they're not travelling. They're not allowed to go interstate. I
Yeah,
think
gotcha.
all 3 rival games are actually good games this week. Carlton, Richmond, Essendon, Hawthorn, and then Collingwood, Adelaide. It's going to be like Fourever Rivals is hot and firing this week. It will be hot.
Do you know
and
what,
firing.
boys? I'm going to be at all 3 of those games. So
Are you really?
I will obviously be there tomorrow as a fan. I will be there in a working capacity for the other games, but
Because you're working at the G.
That's right, mate. What a place
Are
to
you one
work!
of
So
that-
I'll get a laugh at the Essendon and Colling fans when they lose, and I'll be cheering hard tomorrow night, win or lose.
Are you one of the what will you be doing there?
Records.
Oh, now so watch out for me. I'll be there. Beautiful customer service attendant. Help you find your seat. Help you get to
Are
the
you going to be
toilet.
one of those that like if there's a lot of swearing, you have to go down and just tell everyone?
Yeah.
to calm?
Yeah.
You'll be
Nah,
one
I'm
of
not one of those nerds. That's not my responsibility.
them?
I heard that. I heard that
I'll
you.
probably join in.
I heard that you'll be there supplying little jars of Vaseline to all the Richmond supporters because they're going to need it after the.
You just
From
got to be
Carlton.
inappropriate, don't you,
So,
mate? That's not very nice.
you know what I mean? So it's forever rivals, mate. I'm not here to give you a kiss and give you a hug. I wish you a happy birthday and I wish you all the best. But the
That's
reality
what you
is,
get.
you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're here.
Right,
I'm not going to
right,
sit
right.
there. You know what I mean? It is what it is, my friend. So good luck to you. Good luck to you. But just get yourself ready for my hard questions that I'm going to ask you soon. So
Oh yeah, so
Mate,
everyone
I'm still
stay
nervous. I forgot about that for a little bit.
stay
No.
tuned because we're going to quickly go through the tips and then we got the minute of madness, minute of fucking madness, and I'll be asking Mark. I've been working on these questions all.
Fuck. I could just
And then,
imagine.
We're in for it, Marco, mate. We're in trouble here.
It's going to be the minute of madness and quick fire. I can't wait for this. I think it might become the favourite segment outside of
Just for Manny, mate, I actually know my players' numbers if you're going to ask me about a player. So
all right, so Manny.
that was a highlight from last week.
that's right.
All
Look, I said,
Let's
thank you, Reckon. He was number 7.
let's go into. Yeah, I know you got the fucking number wrong. Do you fucking believe it? Let's go into. Let's go into this one. Forever tips. Last week we tipped yes, and this week we're going to tip again. So let's do this. I don't know what I wanted to say, but I'll say it afterwards. But all right, let's go through this. And I've actually, what have we got here? Here we go. Blues and the Tigers. So let's be quick with this. We're going to do quick fire tips here, right? Quick fire tips. Let's go. Let's start. Liam, this is your job.
Yeah, look, we've spoke a lot about this game. You can probably guess where a few of us are tipping. I sent a message today. I sent my tips into you guys. Richmond by 8, same as Angus. So, yeah, get excited, guys.
Yep. And we're going to have a margin on the first game. So, what is it? What was yours, Liam?
8 points.
Tigers by 8. I'm going to go practically the same. After I said that we should beat you and we should smash you and we should win, I still think it's going to be a close game. I picked Carlton by 6 points.
Nah, that's wrong.
Mark?
Look, Carlton's they've got to bounce back, Rocco, mate. You can't afford to lose against the Tigers, mate. I don't normally say this, but I think Carlton will win by 30 points.
Carlton by 30. Carlton by 30. And Manny?
Yeah, look, Carlton did disappoint me last week. I did back him, so I'm going to stick with Carlton because my wife has told me if I think anything else apart from Carlton, that there's going to be repercussions, some serious repercussions. So Carlton for me, and I reckon Carlton by at least 6 goals.
So 36 points. All right. I like it. I like it. It's going to be interesting with this first game total. What is it? Difference total. Yep. All right. Next one. Liam.
Yeah. Look, well, just want to say it's good to see I'll be a tip ahead of you all soon. I think I'm already 2 behind after 5 games somehow. But anyway, Suns versus Cats, it says. That's not right.
Hey, Rocco, what's going on there, Rocco? You got it wrong.
Yeah.
We know what you mean.
It is the Suns versus the Cats, isn't it?
Well, I think it might be the Bombers versus the Hawks, to be honest.
You got the Bombers versus the Hawks.
Done that. Can I just say something? Bocek was very busy today, and he put this together. Where are you, Bocek?
Sack him already, mate.
There you go. He's on the chat. Listen, I rushed a lot this week, my man. He doesn't.
That's your one warning, mate. One warning.
Good brother.
So we've got the Bombers versus the Hawks. All right, what is it?
Yeah, Essendon by 19 points. I know it's not a margin, but I'm going to say Essendon by 19 points.
Oh, he is confident. Nah, I'm going to go with the Hawks for this one. I think that they have to bounce back as well. I do think they're a better team. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah. Look,
unfortunately for you, Marco, I'm going for Hawks too.
Yep.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a huge game. I'm expecting at least 80 to 85,000 tomorrow at the MCG. And I think that Hawthorn are going to basically make the Bombers look like a very average side, bring them back to reality, nothing different. And I don't think Essendon is going to score more than 60 points tomorrow. So Hawthorn by at least 10 goals.
All right. Let's move this tipping really quickly. I don't trust these games anymore because of what Bo just done to me there. So I don't even know if the next game is correct. So Liam, is the next game correct?
He's back all over it, is Bocek, mate. Don't
He's back all over it. All right, quickly.
We have got
Bulldogs versus Giants.
Football. Yeah, Bulldogs Giants is the game. Giants actually did really well to get a win last week, but Bulldogs win was super impressive. That was probably the only round 0 game I really liked, to be honest. I'm going to stick with the Bulldogs at Marble. They're going to win.
I'm doing the same. Bulldogs for me. Mark?
Yeah, Bulldogs for me, mate. They should be playing at the MCG. But anyway, Bulldogs for me. Top 4 they will be this year.
Yeah, Bulldogs for me too.
Nice.
Next game is the Cats and the Sockers down at the Alphabet Stadium. I feel like there's a little bit of a potential for an upset here, but again, after a tough first week or 0 week, Geelong are going to bounce back and get the win down in Geelong.
I'm going Fremantle. They play well there. It's one of the teams that actually play well down at the GMHBA ABCDEFG Stadium. I believe that it will be stopped.
I think the Cats are going to bounce back. I know there's been a lot of discussion over these few days about them, but I think they're going to prove a point. It'd be nice to see our Cox, who's gone to the to have a good game, but I think Geelong's going to win this one.
Mark?
Yeah, Geelong should win at home, mate.
All right. I'm going to get one there. That's good. Next one, Liam.
Boom. Big game. Those super Sydney Swans. They are. I really think that they're going to be a big team. And to be honest, Lions, a couple pretty big outs traveling to Sydney as well. I like Sydney in this. I'm going to back them in.
Sydney. All right. Yes. And I watched Sydney right there. Level 1 row, bloody 7 rows back. I watched them, And yeah, I think Lions are going to be a slow starter this year, like they were last year. But yeah, Swans for me.
Yeah, I agree. Curno's going to do it for the Swans. So that's the Swans for me.
Yep, I'll continue with that, man. Sydney for me as well at home.
I like it.
All right.
And next,
last game on Saturday night. Well, 2 games on Saturday night. The second is those boys, Collingwood versus the Crows. I do think Collingwood is good at home, but I feel like you guys are going to go with the Pies, so I'm going to stick with the Crows. I'm going to have a little crack with Adelaide.
Fair enough.
all right,
Yeah.
Marco.
Yeah, I think Adelaide will have too much run and carry, mate. So Adelaide for me.
I don't know why I'm doing this. I'll be barracking for the Crows all the way, but I think Collingwood will beat them at home.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rocco. So I think the Pies will get over the line.
Next game. People are expecting there could be maybe an upset here, but the next game, Liam.
Whoa. Nah, look, I don't know if there's an upset in this game in Kangaroos versus Port. I don't think the Kangaroos are going to be good this year. I'm going to stick with Port. They need to start the season well.
I'm doing the same. I don't think Kangas are any good, so Port for me.
No, I'm going to. Sorry, Mark. Well, I'm going to say Kangas are just going to get over the line with this one.
All
I really
right.
believe it.
Ooh, I like it.
Yep, the Kangaroos for me. Yep, I think they'll start off quite well this season.
All right. And then we got the next one here. This one's an interesting game too.
This is an interesting game. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like the Saints are going to get better. I think it's just going to take them just a couple weeks to get there. I like what I saw from Melbourne in the preseason. Let's go for Melbourne.
Melbourne. I mean, that's interesting.
I'm going to go for them.
I don't think the Saints played that bad. They didn't get their opportunities. They didn't take their opportunities. So I think Demons are going to be slow starter. How good did Petrarca and the other guy play for GWS, but mainly Petrarca. If that bloke's not top 5 in the competition, Melbourne supporters, just like Carlton supporters watching Curnow, but more so, Melbourne supporters watching Petrarca get 30, 32, 34 and 3 goals and dominate the game. What a star. So, but that was for the Suns. But I'm going for the Saints.
Yeah, it's funny how you get rid of your players, isn't it, Rocco? You know, Petrarca, Curnow, Oliver, and they come out and just smash it out there, mate. It's sad to see, but I'm going to give the Saints a chance. I think they're a lot better than what people think. So the Saints for me.
Yeah, I agree, Saints.
So Saints. And the last one could be close to
those Suns are back in action against the West Coast Eagles, but
against your dad.
Yeah, look, I do like West Coast. I want them to do better, but this is a tough first up matchup. Suns are going to get this one
easily.
Yeah, I agree. Suns by at least 10 goals.
Yep, spot on. Suns for me.
Yeah.
Done. All right, now. I haven't got the total from last week, so Paul Bowe was working his fingers off today, so he just did miss out. He fucked up this one anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But
he's doing great.
Look, I think I got 2. I think you got 2, Liam. I don't know what you guys got last week.
I think me and Manny got 3.
Yeah,
I think
not even a full round of footy, and I'm already behind. Typical.
Yeah, it looks like you got 3 each. So anyway, we'll get the tally next week. Eat a chili, Rocco. Don't worry, mate. If we win the grand final, I'm eating the chili plant. Oh, actually, I think if you go to our new Instagram, Fourever Rivals, I said that I might be eating the whole chili plant if we lose to Richmond. So I don't know. That might be just a bit of tongue in cheek because I've got a bad stomach, but. We forgot to have a bet there.
Is that the wager?
Fuck. I mean,
Yes, eat a chili on.
Oh,
You have to eat it.
done.
This could be the end of me, really.
So all right, that's the bet.
Because we're going to
Whoever
win.
loses has to eat. But I'm not talking about I'm talking like your hot chili. So I'm talking
Pick a chili.
Well, probably the hottest one at the moment is your.
I think it's the habanero, isn't it?
Nah, nowhere near it. Nah. It would be something like, what's the hottest chili? Some of the guys would know out there. Look, yeah, the Grim Reaper is really, really strong. Look, to tell you the truth, guys, you know my girlfriend, and she eats chili for fun, right? We have got at least, we've got a chili plant in the studio. We have got at least 20 to 25 chili plants around the house. Everything you can name. So yeah, the Carolina Reaper, I reckon, is the one you need to do. The Carolina Reaper, that's hot. So we have got some Carolina Reaper out there, so I will eat that one chili on the show next week if we lose.
Are you going to eat it, are you?
Just make sure you wear a glove, Rocco, when you touch the chili. You don't want to go for a piss off.
I thought, Rocco, you would have said, Liam, you're going to be eating it.
The truth, Manny, it's happened to me.
I believe it.
It's happened to me, man. It's happened to me. We were doing something made out of chili, and then I went to have a bit of a scratch after I went to the toilet. And it wasn't a pleasant experience for the next hour or so. I'll tell you that much, mate. No amount of water was giving me any sort of relief, mate. So
somebody said to me, the only way to get relief out of that is to fill up a glass of milk and dip it in milk and just leave it there.
I reckon I tried that too, mate.
Yeah, no, I will.
Hey, listen. So that's it. So next week, Carolina Reaper chili, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Done. I like it. So
stay tuned. If I lose, I'll have to do it at the end of the show. Otherwise, I will not.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end of the show. We'll do it after. We'll do it after Manny make me laugh. How's that sound?
Yeah. It might be my last week next week.
We might get Angus the week after.
Mate, I struggle with tomato sauce sometimes. I'm gone.
You'll be all right, Liam, mate. It'll be Rocco, mate. It might be Rocco eating it next week, buddy.
It might be, but I doubt it. All right, let's get ready. I think everyone's been waiting for this. Minute of madness tonight. I haven't had time to set up a clock. I'm gonna get a clock set up on screen so we can see. We did say it's a minute of madness, but we did say 90 seconds this week, didn't we? We're gonna give ourselves just a little bit more for a few extra questions, yeah. So I'm just gonna get the stopwatch ready. Is everyone ready for this? Is everyone waiting for this? This is sick, man. Blues to roll them, and we'll get through talking. Oh, it's called the Scoville scale. It's got like 1 million. I think the Carolina Reaper is like 20 billion fucking Scovilles. If that ever makes sense. All right, so I'll be asking Marco the question. Let me get the questions, and then who wants to go first? Should it be me or should it be Manny?
Let me go.
You go first.
All right. We're going to go Manny. He's the one to go first. All right, let's go.
When
I say go, it's the minute of madness. Questions, answers, quick fire. Ready, steady, go.
All right. Who's your favourite Richmond player of all time?
Trent Cotchin.
Which premiership meant the most to you? 17, 19 or 20?
17.
Where were you when Richmond won the 17 AFL Grand Final?
I actually watched it at home because I watched all the other ones at home.
Who is the most underrated current Tiger?
Kane McAuliffe.
Do you think Dustin Martin is the greatest Richmond player ever?
Yes.
Who is Richmond's biggest rival right now?
Carlton.
Which young Tiger are you most excited about for the future?
Sam Grill.
What's the best Richmond game you've ever watched live?
2015, 2016 Anzac Day Eve against Melbourne.
Who wins more flags in the next decade, Richmond or Collingwood Football Club?
Got to back my team, Richmond.
What does Eat 'em alive mean to you as a Tiger supporter?
Work hard, finish them off right to the end.
That's it. Thank you, sir.
And it's just under
All right.
the 90. We did go for 90 seconds, so that's pretty good. All right.
Beauty. Thank you very much, Manny.
That was actually pretty fucking lame, that one there. It was just like, you just like took it easy on him. What are you doing? All right.
Mate, I've been panicking about this since last week.
All right. It's time for Rocco to ask.
Well, how do you think I fucking feel, Liam? How do you think I feel now?
Get the Vaseline ready.
Let's
You're
go.
gone.
Ready?
I'm
No,
ready.
they're not that bad. They're not that bad. Ready? Everyone ready for this? Clip this up, because this could be clip worthy. Let's get ready. Ready, set, go. Which Essendon player would you have worked for you?
Paul Vanderhaar.
Oh, I knew you'd say that. Spell peptide teramocine beta 4.
ABC, EFG, HIJK, LMNP.
What year did Essendon win its last final?
2016.
Oh, how many days is that?
Too long. Too much.
Spell Zakarakas.
Zarakas. ZAKAHARIS.
Yep.
What does Vanderhaar do for a living?
Pools. Fields pools. Swimming
He
pools.
does too. He does too. What rule was changed because of Matty Lloyd?
The time wasting.
Time wasting, kicking for goal. Which McKay is older?
They're twins, aren't they? They're not.
One came out first.
Who came out first?
Oh, okay. Ben.
Wrong. What year did Watson get his best? Get the Brownlow taken off him for cheating?
Oh, he wasn't cheating. 2017.
And who did? I think that's wrong. And who did the Brownlow go to?
The bozo there, Sam Mitchell.
And
And
there was two, wasn't there?
there was the other bozo. I can't recall his name.
Look at Liam. He's thinking, did he deserve it? That is time up for the minute of madness. I know you fucked up, I reckon, the Zakarakas there.
Manny should know that one there, mate. I just these Greek names, mate. I'm puzzled, buddy. Sorry.
Mate, spelling's overrated.
That's right.
I was going to say, which Mackay is a bigger dead shit?
But fuck, it's even hard to answer that as well, Rocco, mate.
Both fucking bananas,
They're
man.
both just as bad as each other, man.
If they spend more time on the bloody football instead of bloody their podcast, maybe they could play some good football, man. I reckon between them, you'd be lucky to make one footballer. All right. I think everyone's been waiting for this one here. Let's go.
All right. I love that.
Make me laugh.
That's absolutely fantastic. All right. So there was an elderly couple. They've been married for close to 55 years. So, of course, over the years of 55 years, the passion slowly disappeared. They'd gone grey. Ball sacks started to hang. The skin was hanging everywhere. Anyway, the wife said to him, "Sweetheart, I read a book somewhere that what we should do is once a week we should try and have dinner together naked." So anyway, she takes her clothes off, and all of a sudden she's sitting there, and he starts to take his clothes off. And as he's starting to take his clothes off, she says, "Oh, sweetheart, this is really starting to work." And she goes, "I just feel really heated." And he goes, "I know, sweetheart, I can tell you're feeling heated." And she says, "How do you know?" He says, "Because one of your tits in the soup and the other tits in the tea."
How does he get away with that?
Thank you. I think the best part about this segment is this.
Absolutely, man.
That made me laugh.
If people out there feel that what I'm saying is making them laugh, give me a thumbs up to let me know it's making you laugh. If you think it's not making you laugh, we can always go down that way. But you know what I mean? I'm just here to try and keep everybody entertained as best as I can. And I hope you do like
a good job.
You are getting a few laughs, so we're getting there. All right, beautiful. Hey, this has been a great show. It's been a great show, man. Make sure everyone hit the like before you go, mate. It's been huge. Before we go, thanks to Carlton Security Doors and Blinds. You know what? You know what we need? We need a pump up before we go. What do you reckon? We need a bit of a pump up before we
Let's
go.
do it.
Hey,
Let's do
thanks
it.
to Carlton.
If you want your family to be safe, Carlton Security Doors and Blinds is the place. Fourever Rivals, a bomber supporter and a really top mate. All of your security.
Carlton Security Doors and Blinds. Make sure you get on
That
the
is absolutely brilliant.
Hey, what's the number, Mark, again?
8339-4848. Give us a call anytime.
8339-4848.
That's it.
I'm gonna vote for it in Triple J Hot 100, man. That's a beautiful song.
Telling you, mate, that's as good as it gets, man. That's as good as it gets. So yeah, it has been a great show, mate. Thanks for the sponsor. Make sure you jump onto our Instagram, Fourever Rivals. I put out a video tonight. We'll be putting out some more content, a bit of fun. I believe that me and Liam are going to put something out tomorrow. Maybe definitely after the game, maybe during the game. We're going to put something out regardless, win or loss. We'll be putting something out. So make sure you get on there, give us a follow. Also, if you like your history, get on the Butterbean History. Mate, it's my little side project. I enjoy doing it. I have missed out the last couple of weeks, but it's been a big couple of weeks for TJP, just getting everything up and running. So the new one will be coming out soon. So make sure you give me a like, share, and subscribe on that one there. Make sure you do that. All the shows, make sure you catch up. Today's been the big one, of course. Before that, make sure we got the big show, Selection Blues, with with Zach and Dylan. Make sure you catch them. They give you the team straight up. And then we've got, go for it.
Just one thing on that, Rocco. I did actually find Stuart had the starred comment for it if you go across the starred. It didn't come through earlier, but I found it now.
Where is it? What is it?
If you go on comments and click starred, it should be there.
Oh, starred. Did you star it? All right. Did I miss one? Did I?
It didn't show up before, but it is showing up now. So
sorry about that. There you go. Stuart, thanks, mate. Shout out to Dylan and Zach, the young guns. Thank you very much, Stuart. Sorry I forgot you before, mate. Everything was flying before. But yes, they are the new stars, man. They bring out it's pretty tough, man. They bring out the teams live. And yeah, so that's good. That's the new show. And also all the other shows, of course, you got Blue Sunday went off this week. David Reach. What other I keep saying this, what other show has a Norm Smith medalist every week reviewing the game. And honestly, you think Doc gets suspended by a club, mate? Our man, the hyphen, should be suspended every week because he talks from the heart. He loves the club. He's honest. So that was a big one. Seba's a star on that. So is Vincent, Joe, but Seba's been given. Oh, he's been challenging the hyphen. I like that. I like challenging the hyphen. Yeah? So, and of course, you've got our show. You've got emergency meeting tomorrow. So, and you've also got, of course, how many more shows have we got? You got to watch along with Bo. Listen, guys, if you're at home and you want to watch the game, forget about the commentary. Watch Bo. Watch the game. Put Bo on, mate. The new studio he's built, he's a star with that. And then we go straight into emergency meeting. Win or lose, it's going to be a big emergency meeting tomorrow night. And of course, for our rivals every Wednesday at 7:30. Next week's going to be a big game. There's going to be winners and losers. And actually, Mars predicted a draw for the Richmond and Carlton game. So it would be.
Does that cancel it out? Does that mean no chilies? If we draw?
Yeah, yes. If it's a draw, none of us get to eat the chili.
When was the draw? Was that the COVID year? Was that 2020?
Yeah, 2021? And you know who picked that? It was Paul. He picked it on the show. He picked the draw and he got it right. So wow. You know what? If it's a draw, we both have to eat one together.
No.
Yes. Come on, mate. If it's a draw, we're both losers.
Oh, gee, please win, Richmond. That's all.
It's going to be fun. But so make sure you catch on, share, like, subscribe, man. It means a lot to us, you know. Give us even a comment. Get onto Insta, give us a comment. Tell us what you like, what you dislike. We listen. Well, they listen. I just tell you to get stuff on and do what people think. But yes, put in the likes. And that's it, guys.
Happy birthday, Liam.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Great show, legends. Thanks for all the wishes. And what do we say to finish off, mate? Go the Tides.
Go the Mighty Blues. Go.
Run a Dons.